The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Topping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feel so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Topping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feels so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby missing shadows crawl? People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King of Peace. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
What is up, YouTube? It is Dolly back in the house again today. Of course, I'm in the house. I live here. I got to kind of be here. Anyway, today we're talking Jack and Lily Sullivan. Oh my God! This does not look good. You know, I just got one thing to say. Where's the babies? Where's the babies? That is the $150,000 question. We've been looking for these children for over 2 months. Not a new clue, not a sign, not nothing in 2 months. And let me tell you, it is not looking good. And we're going to go over all these things in just 1 second. After you guys, you beautiful people out there watching, there's 600 of you in the room already. I want you to leave your DNA on the like button because I damn said so. Okay? Because Dolly says so. So leave it there. All right. And if you're brand new watching, we're like 100 people, maybe 110 people away from hitting 71,000 subscribers. And I need you guys. So if you're out there watching and not subbed up yet, sub up. Ring the bell for notifications. And, of course, feel free to share my ugly face everywhere, worldwide, okay, worldwide. Let me give my warnings before we get this going because we're going to be talking about some people today. Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculations, mixed with some theories and a little bit of comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing here as fact. Just my opinion, people. Completely satire for legal reasons. Callers' opinions today are theirs and theirs alone, not reflect on my ugly ass. Everyone is innocent to proving guilty, okay? Even you guys. And the biggest one of them all is don't try to be Dolly at home. Nobody needs a head this damn big, okay? It makes it hard to even get in a t-shirt. You don't want that, okay? So do not, whatever you do, try to be me, okay? So Daniel, the stepfather of these children, Jack and Lily Sullivan, that went missing out of Nova Scotia May 2nd, has been making his rounds around these YouTube streets like Motley Crue, okay? And he's been saying different things, you know, kind of painting this picture of the kids are alive and Malaya dropped him off, but he also said some new things that I found strange, especially with seeing that we had been seeing pictures of Jack with appeared to be bruises on his face. Now I said this, I said, look, I was a little boy, I rode dirt bikes, go-karts, damn, even back in the big wheel days, right? And I had some bruises on me, but very rarely did I get bruises on my face. Now, it's possible you could run into a doorknob, maybe, right? I don't even think he's tall enough to run into a doorknob for this boy to have what appears to be black eyes. Not just one black eye, but looks like both his eyes were black. Then Daniel gets on a YouTube channel, I believe it was the Crime and Shame, and says that 2 days before Lilly went missing, Lilly had a black eye. Now, this is the crazy part. Daniel is blaming Lilly for blacking Jack's eye, okay? Saying that Lilly did it. Hold on. My kid's calling me. She don't know I'm live.
I don't know what I'm gonna wear. Hello, Jimmy.
Hey, I'm live.
Get off live. I got stuff to say to you.
I can't get off live. I can mute it. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys.
You don't need to mute it. It wasn't serious.
Oh, okay.
I was just calling to tell you we're getting ready for the concert.
Okay, the concert's today?
Yeah, we gotta leave at like 2.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm gonna wear yet. Do you think I should wear denim or do you think I should wear orange?
Orange? What?
Should I wear denim or orange?
Like jeans?
No, it's like a denim skirt and a white tank top, or an orange like jellyfish shirt and a brown skirt.
I have no damn clue, kid.
No opinion?
No.
Ask the chat. Ask the chat. Should I wear denim skirt or should I wear orange?
Okay, Tiff wants to know, chat, should she wear denim or orange to this concert she's going to?
And I'll be in the chat looking for answers.
And you'll be in the chat looking for answers.
Okay, bye. I love you.
Okay, love you too. Bye. Okay. So see, I know where my kid is. All right. I know where my kid is. She don't have any black eyes. Okay. No, y'all say denim. Okay. She'll be looking at the chat. Orange. I think she's in Florida. Right. And you know what color? You know what's Florida known for? Oranges. Right. So I would rock the orange if I was in Florida, but that's just me. That's just me. Orange, it stands out. PJ says denim. Okay. Okay. So where was I at? So Jack is running around with black eyes. Lilly is running around with black eyes. And then the kids go missing. All right. Now I'm seeing some huge red flags in this. Huge red flags. And, we already heard that Malaya has said that Daniel was abusing Jack. Okay. Now, how are these kids getting black eyes? Now, he said that Lilly was pushing around a Tonka truck at Patty's house and it ended up smacking her in the face and she ended up getting a black eye. And this may be the reason they did not send her to school, because previously the school allegedly had called the CPS about marks on Jack's face. Some people are not sure if that mark on his cheek right here was a burn or a bruise. Now, like I said, a lot of strange things going on in this case, and it's hard to pinpoint which one of these two parents are responsible. To me, I believe this is something Malaya has done, and both of these people, I believe, may have been abusing Jack and Lilly, physically abusing them, and both of them, because both of them, there's no reason a little girl should be running around with black eyes. Okay, just no reason I can think of in a million years that a little girl would have black eyes. I mean, unless you're a tomboy, and I mean, sometimes accidents do happen. There is, but don't it seem a little coincidental, right? that she got black eyes and she's not going to school, because they knew if they sent her to school, the school has to call CPS, and they've already had problems with the CPS. And boom, kids vanish. And you know, we also see him posting things like he asked for cadaver dogs back in June. Okay, so apparently they haven't had any cadaver dogs on the scene there in Canada, right? Which I find a little strange, you know, because you said these kids were alive and that Malaya put them in a car. Why would you be asking for cadaver dogs? Okay, you said the kids were kidnapped. You said the kids were in the woods. You said Malaya took the kids. How many times can one man change his story? And, you know, we got people that have befriended him, right, in some of these Facebook groups and some YouTubers. And they're building a little gang of things behind the scenes, and people keep spying and dropping the information, which I think is a really good thing, right? Because why y'all doing this behind the scenes? There should be complete transparency in a missing kid case. The truth never changes. I've heard 37 different stories about what happened to Jack and Lily, but yet the RCMP still don't do nothing in this case, right? Now, they have to be watching this stuff and seeing this stuff and wondering to themselves, well, why is he saying something different on the internet than he said in the very beginning? Everybody he talks to, he tells a different story to. Now, I would say Daniel is suspect as can be, right? But then we got Malaya that's not doing anything, that's not saying anything, and that ain't like any typical mother we've seen. I mean, we've seen some mothers like it, usually mothers that are guilty of killing their kids, that don't care and don't go look and go out partying and, you know, ready to find a new man. Usually that's people like Casey Anthony or, you know, Leilani Simon or somebody that has done some Megan Boswell. It's usually people like that. And if she was innocent, why does she have the behavior of such a guilty person? Now, and if they committed this crime together, why ain't they on the same page? But the way they're talking about, you know, black eyes and bruises, and why would you bring those stuff up anyway when you're being accused of abusing Jack? Okay? And then blame Lilly, a child, for blacking Jack's eyes. So at the same time, all these kids got black eyes and they're missing. And there's alleged use of drugs going on in that house. Right now, a lot of people say that Malaya's stepsister recanted what she said. But listen, once it comes out, it's out. What they didn't realize was that people are going to be like, well, if he's doing it and she knew about it, she allowed these things to happen, or she was doing it with him. That's the reason that Malaya's sister came back out and said, oh, well, half sister. Oh, no, I may have been wrong. I didn't see it. Right? But when we seen Janie do the interview, she completely just basically lied and said, well, they were out there fighting, and I don't know what they were fighting about. You did know what they were fighting about because you kicked them off the property. You had to have a reason to kick them off the property and then be like, oh, I don't know what it was about. Then why, if you didn't know what it was about, why would you kick them off the property? Just a lie, right? And we've seen how defensive Jamie was when, you know, and who rakes or shovels in the middle of the night. So basically, somebody driving by seen her outside what would appear to be a shovel. And usually you would think, okay, they wasn't wrong because she addressed it in that interview and she said, oh no, I was raking, trying to level the ground for a swimming pool. But yet there's no swimming pool. There's still kids, right? So the swimming pool never went up. Has there ever been a swimming pool there before? Anybody know? Anybody do that? Right? So these people that are siding with Daniel out here, it's really not a good thing because right now this dude is a suspect in the disappearance of 2 small children. From the beginning, he's been given inconsistent statements. Him and Durwood have been pushing a narrative along with Janie, right? Malaya hasn't said nothing. Her mom has been defending her. She's lawyered up. I do not trust none of these people, and I believe that these kids were being abused. It's early for a swimming pool. A lot of people said it was cold there at the time that Jack and Lily went missing. Now, here in Virginia at that same time, I was putting up a swimming pool. So, and it wasn't too cold, but you know, I'm in the South, so it's a little warmer here than I believe in Canada. But I don't buy the swimming pool story. You know, I just don't buy that. And she heard the kids out there. You know, she heard the kids out there, and just the fake crying is the most telling thing to me. It's like these people cry, but you never see one tear. Okay, usually when I cry, tears come down my face. It's usually uncontrollable. Oh Lord, hold on, guys. Tiff.
Jimmy, I know you're live. My manager just texted me. She said you can have that stuff, but you have to take all the weird pegs that we don't want and figure them out. That's the agreement.
The weird pegs you don't want and figure it out. What about the 3 lights?
She never answered about those.
Okay. We'll tell
Let me
her.
text her. You'd have to probably go get them today or tomorrow.
All of it?
Yeah. They're closing. The last week of the stores this week.
You know I'm going out of town Wednesday.
Okay, well then you have to go get them. Oh my God, tomorrow. You're going out of town tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll be back Monday. I'm Sunday night.
This week's the last week in the store. So you'd have to go get what you can today. This evening.
I ain't gonna be able to do that.
And then you're not getting it.
Okay. Well, it is what it is.
I'll text her and say when you need to get them by. I'll text you bye.
All right, bye. Okay. So we don't want that at Dolly. We don't want that at Dolly. No. No. Yeah. I wanted, they're closing down one of these stores, right? That Tiff manages. And they had these things that I wanted for my soap display. And they want me to get it out of there sooner than later. But I can't do that right now. Okay. So anyway, where was I at? I got completely sidetracked. Love you and your daughter's relationship. Yeah. Well, the store is closing down and they have these studio lights. Okay. Like overhead studio lights, like can lights. And I wanted 3 of them. And so I told her to ask the, what is it? The regional manager to see if I could get the lights because they're taking a lot of the stuff out the store and they're just getting rid of it. And because they got stores all over the country, I figured they would keep some of it, but no, they just get rid of all of it. And the store is pretty new. So it has new cabinets and shelves. And I wanted some of that stuff, but I can't get it till like Monday because I'm going out of town to go to GalaxyCon, that convention, right? That's in North Carolina. So she'll have to put that off till Monday, or at least, yeah, it's going to have to be Monday or tomorrow. Yes, Tiffany, if you're watching, Tiffany, yes, I can do it Monday morning. Because yeah, I would have to have some help to get it. So I had to get somebody to go with me to load that stuff up. And but I want the lights. Okay, I want the lights. I want the lights for my studio. So it's just extra lights. Your producer said no. Okay, my phone's ringing. Holy crap. Yes. Yes. I know. I was going to take that shelf out and put them shelves to hold all the soap. No, it's just pegs that go on the pegboard. You know, you hang stuff on a rack and it has the pegs that you hang it up there and it hangs off the rack. They're in baskets. I've seen it. It's just a bunch of baskets of pegs. They I know. That's what I said. I wanted the lights. All right, bye. Okay, producer's like, hey, we ain't got a lot of room. She's like, you look like Shadow Man. It's because the way I got my lights set up today. I don't have them pointing in my face. Usually they're right in my face, but I didn't want the light shining in my face. So I'm so off track with everything going on. She's calling, doing this. Tiff's calling, and now I'm lost where I was at. These people, okay, that, you know, everybody's believing what they say, that these kids are alive, and they're putting out so many different things. But what it is all they're doing is trying to take the heat off of themselves. And when I seen Janie so defensive over Daniel, and, you know, she feels in her heart the kids are alive, but where's the proof that these kids are alive, right? There's been no signs of life in the last 2 months, right? Nothing. Not a sighting, not a clue, not nothing. Just Durwood out here spreading the same stories that don't even line up with Janie, right? They say she was at the end of the driveway, but when we watched the interview, she wasn't nowhere near the road. Okay. So what did the car pull into the driveway and she handed the kids off? Because it just don't make sense from the story that Durwood, Janie, Daniel are telling. Now, I believe Dolly law should be in effect. They need to lock both of these people up, especially with these kids all bruised up and now they're missing. Now, if there ain't some type of criminal child neglect in this case, I don't know what people to arrest for child neglect. I mean, it's clear as day. They wasn't watching their children. They must not have been watching them for a while, because there's no reason that these kids should be all bruised up. And it's crazy because in 3 different cases of missing kids, the social services have been involved, and then the kids just magically vanish. You had Sebastian Rogers. Social service was involved. He disappeared. You had Summer Wells, social service involved. She disappeared. Jack and Lily, social service involved. They disappear. Right? Because I don't understand this. If you're going to abuse your kids and you're going to beat your kids, you might as well just give them to the social services. You don't want them. And if you're going to take the risk of unaliving your children, why not just give them children to Harmony Montgomery too? You're right. Harmony Montgomery, same way. So services was called and Harmony ends up missing, dead. Okay. One of the saddest court cases I ever sat through was Harmony Montgomery. That was bad. Okay. And Megan Boswell's was pretty bad too, but not quite as bad as Harmony Montgomery's. So very sad. Yes. So we know these people are lying, right? We know they're lying. They haven't told one consistent story this whole time. Okay. Nothing. Every time they tell the story, it changes. Dolly, another 6-year-old boy with autism escaped out the kitchen window. Body found deceased. Not sure on the details yet. Well, the thing about children with autism is most of them elope, which means they run away. It's common with children with autism for them to run away. So can y'all see my comments? Yes, we can see your comments. Usually people ask that when they believe they're blocked. So you must have did something bad previously to ask that question. Now, does anybody in here believe what Daniel is saying? We're going to do a little poll. If you believe Daniel, right? No, if you don't believe Daniel, press 1. If you do believe what Daniel's saying, press 2 in the chat. But make sure you like this video first. You believe Daniel. If you don't believe him, press 1. If you do believe him, press 2. All right, I'm seeing ones already. Does anybody believe Daniel, what he's saying? Okay, so far I haven't seen 1, 2. So nobody in here believes what Daniel is saying? Not one person so far. That is crazy. Not 1, 2 yet. Nobody believes Daniel. Okay. How things are changing. Okay. Remember I asked this just a couple weeks ago, and people believe these kids were on an Indian reservation. Right? Good Lord, how things change. 3, they're all full of it. Hell no, people are saying. Okay, now y'all are coming around. Now, who said this from the beginning? Me, right? Dolly was like, listen, don't believe any of these people. They're all liars. If they'll lie to the police, they'll lie to you, right? So, God, I'm just amazed that, I thought it was going to take me 6 months of telling you people not to trust these people. And y'all pretty much got it down in just a couple weeks. Y'all figured it out, right? Y'all, now we're all on the same page. I feel it now. I feel it, right? 2, covering for both of them. 1, okay? Now, all right, don't put any more 1s in the question in there, right? Here's my next question for you. Do you believe these kids have been hid on a reservation? If you do, press 3. Okay. No, press 4. And if you don't think they're on a reservation, press 5. 4, they're on a reservation. 5, they ain't. Okay. 4, reservation. 5, they ain't. Okay. Somebody thinks they're on a reservation. Y'all still think they're on the reservation? Okay, I see a lot of 5s. 5s they're not on the reservation. 4, they've been hit on a reservation. Okay. A lot of 5s now. A lot of 5s. Okay, because that was a lot different just a couple weeks ago. A lot of people believed that these kids were hidden on a reservation, and now the tide has turned. Okay, there is a lot of 5s going up in the room that these kids are not on a reservation. Okay, I just got one more vote to ask you guys. I'm gonna give y'all a second to finish this one, and then I got one more question. And this one, I'm gonna give a trigger warning with. Okay, trigger warning. All right. If you believe these kids are alive, I want you to press 10 in the chat room. If you don't think they're alive, press 11 in the chat room. 10 alive, 11 deceased. Okay. I want to see where y'all are at now. I'm seeing a lot of 11s. A lot of 11s. Okay. All right. Okay, so now I don't have to do... Well, there's still some 10s. Thank you, Deborah, for joining up. Still think sold. I don't know. 13, 11, 11, 11. Okay, there's still a few people that believe these kids are alive. I don't know what the hell you tens are smoking. I don't know. I'm not mad at you. You have the right to believe whatever you want to believe, right? I just disagree with you. I am definitely an 11. I don't believe the kids are on a reservation. And Daniel is nothing but a liar. Liar, no reservation, and these kids I believe to be deceased. And he said some pretty bad things like, she stole these 2 sweaters. And if they find the kids, I hope the sweaters ain't there. Like, why would you say something like that? You believe the kids are alive, but you've been asking for cadaver dogs since June. The kid, Malaya took the kids, but you're running through the woods outrunning helicopters. Why would you be running through the woods outrunning helicopters if you knew Malaya took the kids? It's just inconsistencies like that, right? Not one native has come forward from the First Nation and said, hey, I seen Jack and Lily on the reservation, or I heard rumors that Jack and Lily are on the reservation. So these kids are not on a reservation. They're not in America, in New York, getting haircuts. Okay? These kids have been, I would say they were alive if they wasn't so bruised up and what I believe to be abused. Okay? And for Daniel to get up there and say, how many people, let me ask you this. This is a yes or no question. How many people think Lily blacked Jack's eyes and put those bruises on Jack? Yes, you think Lily did it, or no? Just a yes or no question. Yes, Lily did it. No, she didn't. Okay? No, I'm going with no. I'm going with no. I don't believe that. I believe that these people were doing drugs and possibly Malaya was allowing Daniel to abuse the kid. And then when things got bad, she wants to tell it, but yet you allowed it. Okay. And we've seen abuse in other situations with even Sebastian Rogers, where Seth said, don't be whipping my kid. And Profoot was whipping Sebastian. Right. So I believe that there was some abuse going on in this house, and he's trying to explain away why these kids are black and blue and got bruises all over them, and he's blaming it on the kids, which to me is horrible, because these kids, Lily's not here to defend herself and say, no, I never did that to my little brother, or and I have 2 sisters, and I can't think of one time my sisters have ever blacked my eyes. Okay. Map threw up the stop signs. So, and we know that, yeah, Leilani Simon was constantly abusing Quentin Simon. And I don't know. I'm just looking at the RCMP like, what the hell? Why ain't these people in jail? Why has the CPS not, done anything? Right? Is this a case where the CPS have failed these children also? Right? Maybe they should have been taken away. Look at the conditions they were living in. It took them to do a news interview to clean the damn yard. Okay, you notice in the one with Janie that the yard was done. They cleaned the yard. They cleaned off the porch. They cleaned up. But they couldn't do that when it was just the kids there. So why the urgency to clean up now, And then we got Daniel, out here telling girls he's in love with them and he can't live without them. And you got Malaya putting single ready to mingle on her Facebook. And what happened to this man saying he was going to look forever? I'll look forever. All you've been looking at is YouTube, it appears. Just trying to get in front of all the stuff that people are saying about you. Trying to explain away things that there ain't no explanation for. If you want to explain something, if you want to say something on the internet, you're more than willing to come up here and tell us where these kids are at. Because you damn sure know. Just like Malaya knows. Or she may not know, but she knows you got rid of those kids. I believe it's one of these cases. It's, why ain't there an arrest? Why is there not an arrest in this case? Why is Malaya being quiet? I asked myself that the whole time, Mab. Why is Malaya being quiet? Why does she have nothing not to say? Why ain't she begging and pleading for the safe return of her child? Why ain't she putting search parties together? Hey, Florida Girl 420. Thank you for being a member. I'll tell you why. Because these people are guilty as hell. They show their guilt, right? We got a whole pack of liars. And trust me, if Malaya was talking, she'd be lying too. The only reason we can't catch Malaya in a bunch of lies is because she hasn't said anything since that first interview. And then she packed her shit and she left. We got the pink blanket in the trail, okay, near the ATV trail. We got a spotless ATV. We got every one of them lying, okay? From Daniels, the stories changed more times than I can even count. I was at 3, 4. I think the stories changed 5 different times. The truth never changes. The truth is the same every time. You don't go, oh yeah, I remember this. And you know, you just, it was in the beginning, everybody was blaming Daniel, the evil step parent, because you know, usually the step parents are usually evil, right? You always hear the stories about the evil step parents. And so what he did was he came online, started befriending people, started saying things about Malaya. And then of course people sided with him because Malaya's not here to defend herself, right? Which I don't think she could defend herself anyway, right? I think she's just as guilty as him. They're both in this together. And when this all ends, they both should be in prison. They both should be sitting in jail right now until they figure out what's going on with these kids. It's insane to me that you can just, your kids can magically vanish and you don't give a damn. You don't even look. And you get to walk free? Oh, hell no. Y'all better hope Dolly don't never become president of Canada. Y'all all going to jail, right? I'm locking you up and the geese. Okay, I'm locking all gone. Day one. Okay, I'm locking all the geese up. I'm getting Daniel, Malaya, his mama's boyfriend, Daniel's brother, Malaya's mama. You all going to jail until somebody coughs up where these kids are. And PJ, Belinda says she thinks Malaya found out.
Says she thinks Melanie found out something at the original briefing when she left, so she knows. Makes sense to me. Choo choo. Steamboat the motive emoji.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Did she find something out? Did the police tell her something like get away from them? Social services, you need to get, you know, the whole thing is Daniel had to have supervised visits to see the kids. So he's done something. You know, he's been alleged or accused of something. And when he came in here, he wouldn't discuss, PJ, what he was accused of. She just said Malaya saying I did a bunch of shit, but he didn't say what he was accused of. And then, you know, the rumors are even coming from Durwood that he was abusing Jack. Okay, so, and then you got Jack showing up with what appears to be burns on his face, black eyes. You got Lilly with black eyes, and they're not going to school, not because they're not sick. It's because they have bruises all over them. And how did they get all these bruises all over them if every time they go outside to play? That, I don't know if she even ever lost Meadow. Okay. We know this shit that we're saying, Carrie, because of Durwood and Daniel. And both of them are lying. Okay. Durwood's just repeating like a mockingbird what Daniel and Janie say, and not even right, because Janie's story was completely different than Durwood's story. And they're lying. So can we believe anything? They were like, she's on the run, right? And all she did was left her mom's house. That don't make her on the run. She left her mom's and went to her dad's. We don't know what the conditions are. We got people that are constantly lying, giving us the updates, right? And they're leaking it out through social media people and then putting it out here. They're discussing these things in private groups. We've seen that. They're being sneaky, right? Why be sneaky? If you ain't got nothing to hide, come up here on the YouTube streets and say what you got to say. Why is it you're not brave enough to face anybody, but you brave enough to jump in a chat room or a forum and say something? Because you know if you come up on somebody's live, they're going to ask you the hard questions. Okay? You don't, you know, some people may give you a free pass. Some of these people out here may give you a free pass. But some people won't, you know? And like I said, I think some YouTube creators are doing it because they want access to them, you know, just access. Do they believe them? I don't really know. I hope not. But I think they're just going along with them, right? I don't think they're really buddy, friend with him like he thinks, right? I think they're trying to get information. And if some information comes out, they would turn on them in the drop of a hat. Right. That's what I tell people up here. Like, none of these people are your friends. They're going to tell it as soon as they hear it. Like me. I'm telling. I'll let you know. I ain't even hiding the fact. You tell me some shit, I am. And it has something to do that'll bring some justice to these kids. You can believe I'm telling it. I'm telling shit. Everybody on the internet and some people. Okay. I'm going to find some strangers to tell after I done live streaming it for 4 hours. I'm telling everybody, you know, so when I see these people leaking this stuff from these private groups and these messenger messages that they're saying, and so what they do is he'll get out there and say something, right? And then YouTubers will hear it and then they'll run with it, and then they start pushing this narrative, right? And then people believe it. Like, look how many people believe the kids were on a reservation. Nobody thought that before Durwood, and Daniel started pushing this. They're on a reservation, right? 1,673 people and only 800 likes. I see you. I'm looking right at you. Okay. Better hit that damn like button. All right. Better hit that like button. We need some justice, right? We need DOLLY law in Canada. Carol, thank you for joining up. That is awesome of you. We're getting closer and closer to that 71,000. And, you know, I honestly thought this would be over by now because I really didn't think it was a big deal to go get that passport, right? And I was thinking, okay, time I get the passport, go through all this trouble, they're going to have an arrest. There's, you know, something's going to happen. But no. We're going on what now? 3 months?
Perhaps Daniel was so jealous of Cody he wanted to cut any ties, the kiddos, between Cody and Maria and pin them from having to even communicate. Steam locomotive emoji.
Yeah, and there was something to that because we hear from Belinda, and I believe she's the only person telling the truth because she don't really have a dog in the fight, right? She wasn't there. She hadn't seen the kids. She had seen the kids prior to Daniel, right? But then as soon as Daniel came into the picture, all communication with the kids for the grandma was turned off, right? And she's the only one I ever really felt sorry for. When I watched her interview, I was like, I feel sorry for this lady, right? Because it's really, everything's out of her hands. She has no control of anything that's going on. Her son, a little bit of a deadbeat dad. But her herself, you know, has nothing to do with it. And so to watch her interview, I felt really sad for her. When I watched Janie, I didn't feel sad for her. Not a bit. Right? I got such an angry vibe from Janie, and from Belinda, I got a Karen vibe, but where I felt bad for her. I was like, man, this sucks for her because now she's not going to get to see her grandkids. And I do believe it's some jealousy from Daniel. You know, it's common in men to be super jealous, right? It's a lot of women too. Some, you know, are super jealous people. If you don't build a relationship on trust, you really ain't doing much. If you can't trust each other, you might as well probably not be together. All right. Because all it's going to do is lead to fights and arguments. You got to have that trust, right? So, and usually when people leave people, there's a reason they leave people. It's because they don't want to be with them. Okay. So, Malaya left. Why be so jealous of, is it Cody? Right? Why be so jealous of him? She didn't want to be with him, or she wouldn't have left him. Right? So why be jealous? They got kids together and things like that. And there's no point in it. But if you're abusing the kids, you damn sure don't want to send them to their grandma's house with bruises all over them. Because what's grandma going to say? What's the loving and caring grandma going to say? She's going to be like, there's bruises all over these kids. When she's giving them a bath or something like that, and she sees the marks, and you can't hide abuse. I mean, you can hide it for a little bit, but you can't hide it. And especially when you start striking kids in the face and their eyes are black, and usually to black somebody's both their eyes is usually from the nose, like you hit them in the nose. Right, because I've had my nose broke. I don't see if you can see it right there. And when it did, it blacked both my eyes. I never got hit in the eye, but I got hit in the nose and it blacked my eyes. And that's real common with black eyes, or a broke nose is black eyes, like raccoon eyes. And when I seen the pictures of Jack with the black eye, he didn't just have one black eye. It looked like he had two black eyes. Now, how does a little kid get two black eyes? You can say, well, he ran into something, but it happens, but not like super common. And we heard these people say they were hover parents, but yet they wasn't. Now we're hearing that they were doing drugs, that he was possibly doing drugs. And, he lied in here. No, I ain't doing any drugs. Malaya smoked a little bit of bud, right? Never seen her do anything else. And she's on something, right? You don't get that cold and emotionless without being on something. Now, you look at Leilani, she was doing the Colombian Bam Bam and other drugs and smoking, and even smoking. I smoked for 30 years, okay? The sticky icky, and I was never emotionless, so that don't make you emotionless. It's them hard things that do, or prescription medications that make you all zombie, right? And that's basically what she was. And any woman that'll sit around and allow a man to abuse their kid, you're just as responsible for that abuse as the person abusing those kids. If Malaya sat around and watched Daniel abuse Jack, she's just as responsible for the abuse. She didn't do nothing. You wouldn't do that around me. You just wouldn't do that. Like, and some women allow that to happen. Like, it is absolutely horrible, and I think the reason that they didn't go to school is because of Lilly and these black eyes and the bruises on Lilly. They were scared to send her. What are we going to do? And people on drugs don't think rationally. That's why there's Just Say No commercials, right? Because people that do drugs are fry their damn brain. And when I say drug, I mean hard drugs. I ain't talking about a little bit of smoking and a little bit of drinking. I'm not talking about that. Overdoing that might be bad, especially the drinking. I think it's hard to over smoke. But over drinking too much, alcoholism is bad, and then you mix alcohol and hard drugs, you're talking, I've seen some people do some crazy stuff, and were these kids in a good environment? I would say absolutely not. So this don't look good. We got kids 2 days before they go missing with black eyes. Now they're gone. Because if Lilly goes to school and says, well, this person hit me, because Lily's at an age she can talk. you're going to jail. Okay? They're coming and arresting you and taking your kids. And they're going to end up taking Meadow too. And maybe that's what they didn't want, is they didn't want these kids to talk. There has to be a reason why this occurred. All right? Because I believe they're responsible, and I believe everything happens for a reason. Now, it may be some crazy ass reason only their nutty mind could think of. But there's a reason these kids have vanished. And this ain't a hoax, right? Like, they didn't hide the kids and the kids are going to pop back up. That would be a hoax. This is the real deal. These kids are gone. And there's only 2 people or whoever was at that house that know what happened to these kids. And somebody needs to talk, because, you know, the first one to talk is the first one to walk. But if they unalive these kids, let's be honest, there ain't nobody walking. They going to prison. Dolly, do you have the picture? I haven't seen this. Do I have the picture handy? No, I don't have the picture handy. I would have to find it. But I seen the picture a while back, right? The picture of Jack with the black eyes had been circulating a while back. The scary thing about stuff like this is when you see images, but now it's being addressed, is that you can basically AI make a picture of anything. Like, say I want to take a picture of Jack, I could take his picture and be like, you know, make him have black eyes, and it'll put black eyes on the pictures. So when you see things, you got to kind of take it with a grain of salt, right? Like, it might not be real. Okay. It might not be real. So when I seen the picture, I wasn't sure if it was real or not. Okay. Just be dead honest. There's no way to really tell these days. You can fake so much stuff. You don't know. Did a YouTuber make the kid have black eyes? You know, like I have pictures of Malaya shoveling the ground. Them ain't real. Them are AI pictures. That's just something I told AI to make. Right. So when I seen these pictures, I didn't want to just, you know, go on and on about the pictures, because they may not be real. But now we got them addressing these images, and they're saying these bruises are real. So the pictures out there with him with black eyes. You got Daniel saying that Lilly did this, blaming Lilly for blacking both this little boy's eyes. And then she fell on a Tonka truck and blacked her eyes. But then she don't go to school. Okay, because you got to remember, 2 days before that, the day before that was a day off from school. They didn't have to go to school. But the day she had to go back to school after getting these black eyes, she vanishes. Coincidence? I think not. I don't believe in damn coincidences. I don't. Right? Now, who blacked this kid's eyes? Now, he said it happened at Patty's house. I like to hear Patty say, well, yeah, she fell, hit her head on the Tonka truck, blacked her eyes. Right? If you was abusing Jack, how do we know you won't abusing Lilly? And listen, just yesterday, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, Stephen Stearns pled guilty to abusing Maddie Soto. So how do we know that Daniel is not another Stephen Stearns? I know it sounds horrible, right? It sounds horrible to think that, but there's some weird people out there in this world. Yeah, exactly. We don't know, Dolly. But we do know these kids are gone. We do know these kids, according to this RCMP, there's no signs of abduction. There's no signs that these kids ever went into the woods. They're not in the woods. There's no signs of abduction. We got the parents lawyering up and lying. Does it take a genius to figure out what happened to these kids? It don't. I mean, I'm a fucking idiot. And I know good and well that these kids ain't with us, and these people, somebody on that property is responsible for the disappearance of these kids. Them kids didn't vanish. They didn't just go poof, gone, blow away in the wind. That don't happen. Animals didn't get the kids because there'd be drag marks, there'd be blood, there'd be ripped up clothing, there'd be things like that. So the dingo didn't get the baby, grizzly bears didn't get the baby. That didn't happen. And usually if they did, they would have got Jack. They would have went for the weakest prey. Usually animals they go for the weakest prey and they'll go for the smallest, right? Usually you take two people and put them in the water, take a kid and an adult and put them in the water, in the ocean, and a shark will probably bite the kid first. Just, it is what it is. They're going to go for the smallest target first. What they consider they know they can take, right? And because just like anything, they don't want to get hurt. So the bigger the animal, the less likely they are to attack it. So I don't think wolves or coyotes or anything got these kids, and they were in a fenced-in yard. A fenced-in yard. We seen the yard. I mean, the back of it was construction fence, plastic fence, right? But the rest of it was pretty secure wooden fence with slats, going down it. But every time he opens his mouth, Daniel, he says something more cryptic and more cryptic, right? That, just the whole pink blanket situation, being a mile down the street, at first he said they were sweaters, okay? I said already like hoodies like I'm wearing, right? Because he was in the room and he said no, they were actual sweaters. And now he's saying that they're shirts. Okay, well, which one is it? Like, why does everything a fucking lie with this guy? Everything. And it makes him so suspect, right? But yeah, he's pointing the finger at Malaya. Yeah, there would be signs if there were animals, marks, blood on clothes. Yeah, ripped up clothes. Animals usually don't eat clothes. They'll rip you up. They'll rip that stuff open and, eat what they're going to eat. And you would have had buzzards all out there, right? You'd have been looked up and seen 50 buzzards flying through the air. And you didn't see that. We know Lilly was loud. So if she would have been lost in the woods, she'd have been screaming and crying. And they would have heard her because your voice is loud. I mean, that kid had some lungs on her. Right. And to hear the grandmother say the things of like, who could put up with Lily screaming? It sounded like they didn't like her. I mean, that's what Janie said. Who could put up with her screaming? They talk about the kids in past tense. From day one, they talked about the kids in past tense. That reminded me a lot of Don Wells. Okay, when they were talking about the kids in past tense, and, you don't. Right now, we got this man blaming the kids for the bruises because Lily can't speak for herself. So to take the heat off of him of being abusive, Lily did it. Lily was bruising Jack up, hitting him with things. The school didn't know how to handle Jack and Lily, according to Daniel. He said that too. That the school didn't know how to handle these kids. Well, I would think the school would have more experience of handling special needs kids than his ass that works at a lumber yard, right? A sawmill would have dealing with special needs kids. I mean, there's a lot of special ed teachers, at special education teachers that deal with kids with autism and other developmental problems. And what experience does he have in that? They diagnosed the kids with autism. The doctors have never said that Jack and Lily had autism, right? When you see them in the other videos, they look like perfectly normal little kids. They don't seem like they're. That one birthday video, right, where she's screaming is kind of a lot, right? Let me see if I can find this video right quick. of Jack and Lily. It's a new video that was posted not long ago. And I believe this is a video that came from Janie's boyfriend, where they're sitting on the couch and they're acting like good kids. And to see the kids. Oh, here's a message from Daniel. No, the school didn't know how to deal with Jack and Lily. I don't think they have the skills, training, and experience to properly deal with Jack and Lily. Okay. So, share screen. That was his message. Okay. Let me scan through this real quick. Right here, I asked for cadaver dogs back in June. Okay, so I just want to show you, this is where I got my info from of what he's been saying. And then, of course, you had Melinda Gray say, if they believed them to be alive, why did Daniel ask for cadaver dogs? Belinda, good question, right? They think people are stupid. I mean, they think people are absolutely stupid. And that's what I believe. I'm trying to find this video. Okay, here's the message from Daniel. Believe it or not, Lily had a black eye from Wednesday, 2 days before the disappearance. A Tonka truck swung up and hit her in the face at Patty's house. She pushed down on it when she was going around the floor. Okay? Do anybody believe that? Anybody believe that? I mean, the kids, you know, so all the kids just got black eyes. I mean, I get it. Kids can get black eyes. I mean, if it was coming from anybody else, it's believable. Okay. It's believable that a kid could get a black eye playing, pushing stuff around and fall on it. I mean, there's ways to get black. It's believable. But when you got a man who has done nothing but lied and nothing but changed up the story, then it becomes hard to believe. He's deflecting. Yeah, I believe so. Liar, Daniel lies again. Okay, here's a message from Daniel. Yes and no. Some is to put pressure on the parties that may have involvement, but though that pressure there is honestly, I like a truckload of gravel. There is gold buried inside. I don't like that he used the word buried when his mother was seen with a shovel or a rake the night before these kids were reported missing. You know, it's just some things he says are like, is it leakage? You know, is it leakage that he's that he's spilling out that he can't help but partially tell on himself? Right here. No, the school didn't know how to deal with Jack and Lily. I don't think they had the skills, training, experience to properly deal with Jack and Lily. Does anybody believe that? My personal thoughts based on emails and phone calls. A lot of red flags, guys. A lot of red flags going up. I'm trying to see if they posted any more. There was one that was posted. I don't know where it was posted, though. I don't want to dig through all of it right now. But we know now that when Lily, wherever Lily's at, she had a black eye. This story is more strange than Sebastian. Yeah. And there's some strange things going on in the Sebastian Rogers case. They're alleged sighting in the Sebastian Rogers case. I don't believe it. Okay. I believe it's there's a lot of kids that look like Sebastian, and we got a crazy lady. That crazy lady that is suing Seth went to a food kitchen in Texas, and the people at the food kitchen said they seen Sebastian. Okay. I don't believe it. They may have seen a kid that looked like Sebastian, but Sebastian didn't make his way to Texas in a food kitchen. I'm not buying that. I am not buying that whatsoever. And just like I'm not buying Daniel's story, I'm not buying that Malaya is just not talking for no reason. She's innocent. And then to hear her family talk about she needs to move on with her life and she needs to have fun. And no, the hell she don't. She needs to be out here trying to find her child, and she had nothing to do with it, because what she looks is absolutely guilty. And I want to hear from you guys what you think about these black eyes on these kids. Did they accidentally get black eyes, or are they being abused? Let me open the phone lines real quick. The phone lines are now open. The call-in number is on the screen. Okay. Were these kids being abused? That is my question. Do you believe Daniel when he says Lilly was black in Jack's eyes? Dolly,
Ain't I good?
you're fast.
I'm fast, baby.
You're pretty fast. You were waiting.
I'm pretty fast. I wasn't waiting. They just called me.
Okay. So what do you think about these kids with black eyes there?
I believe that's coming from the Bam Bam use, because you can't stand nobody around you. When the kids went to grind, they backhand them.
You think that's how that's what I think too. I think that he couldn't, they were probably getting lit, and these kids are making noise and being kids, and they couldn't deal with it because it was taken away from them getting high.
And honest to God, truth, you say it on it. I see stepping stones all in the right hand side of your picture right now, and the woman too.
I mean, I don't know.
Allowed it to happen.
I don't want to put that on them because there's no evidence of that. You know, that's a bad thing to put on somebody. But
some reason you can't see your child, buddy, without people with you.
Yeah.
That's your baby, and you ain't done nothing wrong. They cannot stop you from seeing your child without them parental right or somebody being with you.
Yeah. So they either accused him of something or he's done something pretty bad for that to be the situation where he sees his kid. He has to see it with. Now, if he was accused of that, they would probably have him in jail, though.
But they can't prove it. They don't have the children.
Do they need the children to put them in jail for that?
That's what they're trying to find right now. I guarantee you, Malaya's told them they don't want to jump. They don't want to jump until they find them children. And I believe they're looking for them children.
I don't trust any of them. I don't trust Malaya either. I just don't.
Well, I believe that's why she lawyered up. I still think they got a hold of that stuff. And she's blaming it on Daniel for leaving the Bam Bam land out.
Maybe.
And they had the party. And that's why the little bitty one didn't get no piece of candy. She went back in there and she stole a couple pieces of candy, and her and her brother took it, and they're dead.
Wow. I mean, it's possible. It's possible. I don't know if that's what happened. I mean, there has to be a reason they've done something, right? Because they've done something. I mean, we all know that. But what and why is what we don't 100% know. I think we're pretty convinced they done something, but what did they do?
And when you get on that stuff, you can come up with the wildest things to say. I mean, I've been through it, dude.
Yeah.
I had a son that was on this stuff. He told me he seen one of his friends down there playing in the fire, rubbing coals on his face, and we're burning his face up. And he walked up to the door and they wouldn't burn on him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason they say drugs are bad.
They hallucinate.
Yeah,
But I mean, I loved him. I fought for him, and I now think we got him on the right track.
that's good to hear. That's good to hear. All right, Doug, you be good.
But I pray them kids are found, and I pray that whoever does it has to go to jail.
Amen to that. Peace.
All right. Bye, BJ.
Bye, BJ.
We could not complete your call. Please try.
Okay, because the answer is Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Huh? What's up, man?
I said, hey, Doug only beat me because I was typing the chat.
Oh, okay. All right. Y'all were racing.
So Doug still thinks it's OD.
Doug's
You know, it is kind of monkey see, monkey do with kids. You know, they do what their parents do. And the only way I see that happen if they see somebody doing rips, you know. With,
okay.
razor
Hold on. My
blade.
producer sent me a message. Said, "Did you see Charmaine saying the video from Malaya's mom? It's the video is from Malaya's mom's boyfriend, not Janie's boyfriend." Okay, I must have mistaken. So correction, people. Correction. Producer keeps up with stuff. Dolly don't. All right, go ahead, man.
So if they've seen their parents doing some rips or something on the mirror or something, and they copied them, and that shit was still laying out, that's a possibility. But the shit tastes like shit. I've done it. I don't see kids tasting it and doing more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they may not have had to do a lot. They do a little and kill them.
Yeah, possibly.
You know.
I'm kind of less on that and more on Malaya. Kind of was done with Daniel and the other two kids, so she had Meadow, and Meadow was her only thing, you know. Just like Leilani, she didn't like the kids from a certain father.
So, I mean, you thought they were on the reservation in the beginning. What do you think now?
I still think there's a good chance they're somewhere else. I don't know if it's a reservation. Now, here's the thing about the reservation. Everybody's saying, they can't be on a reservation. You have to search house by house for you to say they're not on a reservation. Reservations ain't like everybody's in a teepee walking around, you know. It's just like a neighborhood where there's houses and everybody stays their own business. You don't search every single person's house. You have to search every single freaking house on a reservation or anywhere else to tell me that they're not there.
Yeah, but what kids ain't gonna go outside? You got to take the kids outside at some point.
They can go outside in a fenced backyard and nobody see anything. Oh, you're talking about driving around, going someplace?
Yeah, like what are you gonna dungeon the kids up for no reason? There ain't even no reason to hide them. There's no reason to even hide them, though, man. That's the crazy thing. There's no reason to hide the kids. If you had a reason to hide them, I could understand it, but there's no reason to hide the kids.
Let's talk about motive. What the hell is the motive?
The kids were had to go to school and they had black eyes and they were going to tell it, and they were going to go to jail for abusing these kids. I mean, what do you let CPS?
That's possible.
Once CPS is involved, you're going to jail and you're losing the kids.
Well, you're losing the kids if you kill them too.
I mean, I know, but you're going to jail when they show up and these kids go to school and say, "My mom hit me in the face," and you got a black eye. They arrest your ass these days. When I was a kid, that wouldn't have been a big deal. They wouldn't even have asked.
Why are people so damn self-centered? All they care about is what happens to them.
I mean, there has to be a reason, man. I don't think they just did it for shits and giggles.
No, there's got to be a reason. Either could have been a drug thing, but damn, I thought in my mind it was Malaya. You know, I guess I was feeding off of Durwood shit. You know.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no reason. That's the whole thing. When they were saying they hid the kids, they hid the kids, they hid the kids. There's no reason to hide the kids. Cody, the biological father's not trying to take the kids. Daniel's not the father of the kids. So why even attempt to hide the kids? There's no reason. And now we're finding out these kids, when they went missing, had black eyes.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
No.
Well, shit. I thought in my mind, Malaya being a little off mentally was exaggerating what she was going through, right? And her friends got together and, snatched the kids so she could get away. And they were holding somewhere until the heat died down. And that could still be, I hope that is what happened.
He
I
never
hope they
died.
didn't just
He
kill
don't
him.
never die down off a missing kid.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it does.
I mean,
Well,
it
Sebastian
may
Rogers.
cool down a little bit, but there's still people looking for Sebastian. There's still people. I was just talking about Sebastian, so the heat ain't off of it.
Yeah, but you give it a few years, the kid looked totally different.
It's been
they're
2 years.
in Saudi Arabia or something.
Kids change a lot in 2 years. It's been 2 years in Sebastian Rogers.
We can't forget there's a huge market for slaves.
For usually smaller, younger kid, nobody want a grown ass man.
You'd be surprised.
Maybe.
Sickos are out there.
I mean, I get it, but most of them sickos usually like young kids. They don't want. I mean,
right.
Justin Bieber age back in the day, P Diddy, stuff like that. Like
P Diddy would have taken anybody.
Like I watched a video the other day, ma'am, and it was Corey Feldman, and they asked him, "Have you been to any P Diddy parties?" He said, "I think I'm too old." And you know what he went through, but that was his answer. He said, "I think I'm too old to be invited to P Diddy parties." And
I think the P Diddy party and the P Diddy and the Epstein were intelligence operations designed to control people.
I don't know. Now you've been watching conspiracy. All right, ma'am, you be good.
No.
Peace. Dolly.
Hey.
Hey.
I did not expect you to answer. I had something that I wanted to bring to your attention.
Okay.
Did you ever see the picture of the wolf dog with Jack and Lily on Malaya's Facebook page before she
I thought that was photoshopped.
It was in their pictures. It was in
There was one
camera.
with like an alligator too, wasn't there?
I only saw that white wolf dog and it didn't look right to me and I didn't screenshot it. But my question is, why was Justin and the mom more upset than Malaya and Daniel? I'm wondering if that dog was there and something happened.
I don't know, but Janie's dog is cute and innocent. We can't blame the dog.
Yeah.
He's just a scraggly little mutt dog. It looks like he's just happy to be alive.
Yeah, it's just something I wanted to bring to your attention. Just maybe if you could even ask some, with all your other.
No, we need to find.
Anybody?
We've had spirit whisperers. We've had psychics. We need somebody who can talk to animals, and they need to question that little dog because he probably knows what's going on, and he'll tell it. Yeah,
because my theory is like, hey, if it happened and it was an accident, would they hide it so they don't lose custody of the other one?
Yeah, if
kind of negligent.
If they would have sent Lily to school with black eyes, you can believe CPS was showing up at the house.
Yeah,
and that's a motive. That's a motive to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't want to go to jail. These kids got to go.
Mm-hmm. And when he said under the waterfall, and she'll know what that means, I'm like, God damn, did they bury a baby? Can you bury under a waterfall since dogs can't track it?
I mean, I think that's where they met, is near the waterfall.
Okay.
And because he said he wanted to be the old Daniel that she met at the waterfall. But then again, you never know. That could be code for the kids somewhere near the waterfall. So, and usually if people are going to hide something, or let's just say a body or anything, they're going to hide it in places they're familiar with. They don't usually go to a random place and hide something. Usually, like even serial killers, they'll have dumping grounds, just like the Texas killing fields. The person was familiar with that area, so they kept dumping bodies there. That's usually the case. Usually a serial killer, when they'll find one body, they'll find multiple bodies because that killer is comfortable in that area. So they tend to go to certain places they're comfortable with. I ain't saying they couldn't go to a random spot, but usually it's somewhere they're familiar with.
I gotcha. I got you. Well, thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and I think it's very cute that your daughter calls you so often.
Yeah, she'll blow the phone up. But she's out. She's at some K-pop concert in Orlando, so she's out having fun. She won't be bothering me for a while.
There you go. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, and thanks for your
All
time.
right, thank you. You be good.
You too. Bye-bye.
I am feeling better, guys. I was sick as shit for a few days at the beginning of this week. Last week, and now I feel really good. Okay. I don't want to jinx myself, but PJ is sending me a bunch of messages that Daniel has said, and I guess we're going to go over these. All right. Trolls online, many, but my message inbox is all support. Okay, hold on. She's sending me so much stuff. For some reason it won't let me flip through them. Hold on. Wait a minute. Daniel, the judgment doesn't bother me. Oh, let me shrink this, see if I can get it to where it shows me how to flip through them. I want to be able to read these to you guys. And these are all screenshots of what Daniel's been saying. Okay, hold on. Shit. Can you stop moving? This is pissing me off. Let me see if I can do this. All right, hold on. I got a bunch of messages that he's been saying. Let me figure out how to shrink this screen. Why is it blowing it up? Okay. This message. All right. The judgment doesn't bother me. I have the understanding that humans judge everyone deserves the right to. It's just on a worldwide scale. Due to the high profile I have access is not a concern. The change for exposure is career boosting. What the hell does that mean? Okay, this is what he says. Let me show y'all this so y'all see what I'm reading. Major crimes only urge me not to engage with questions containing evidence. There's a mountain of evidence not displayed online that only me and major crimes know. That's why many questions I don't answer, because it leads down a rabbit hole of speculation. Okay. Are these in order? I'm sitting here on my free will, and the world doesn't see that or respect it. Okay. Now, listen, Daniel, we understand you're here on your free will, but you're not being honest. Your story's changed at least 5 times on your free will. Okay. Like, listen, we just want the truth, right? And you make it hard on yourself, right? If you would have just told the whole truth in the beginning, nothing but the truth, so help you God, would you be in this situation? All right, let's look at this. I believe they're alive, hence the $150,000 reward and polygraph exams administered were on the death of Lilly and Jack. It's still considered a missing person case. Crime investigation not begun. It's still a missing persons case. Okay. Sounds a little odd to me. Let's see what this next one is. Yes and no. Some is to put pressure on the parties that may have involvement, but though that pressure there is honestly like a truckload of gravel, there is gold buried inside. I wouldn't be saying buried in a missing kids case, just a bad choice of words. Yes, the black eye in the photo that's going viral was caused by Lilly. Okay, I want to show y'all this, guys, because I want y'all to know that I ain't making that up. Yes, the black eye in that photo that's going viral was caused by Lilly. Daniel. All right. Let's see what's next. There's a ton of them. We read that one. All right, let's get this one. Let me take this off the screen so y'all can see it. I think your opinions are limited on your perspective. The polygraph exam was administered by a major crime officer that's been doing it for almost 20 years, completed 3 exams over a 3-hour span. I also viewed and analyzed documentation. Okay. I believe Jack and Lily are alive, hence the let me show y'all this. That no one that involved is a murder.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he's still saying Jack and Lily are alive. All right, which I think is a bunch of BS. Did you know Malaya wanted to leave? Did you two have an argument the night before or that morning? No argument. That's a perspective many have, though, that they had an argument. Okay. No, I work close with major crimes. They let me know information, but it's still limited. The last statement released by RCMP, I knew in advance before the public. Yeah, which was nothing. They didn't tell nothing. So what do they call you and be like, hey, we're about to release nothing because there was nothing? My ex-wife is trying to keep me from them. I can't speak much on that. Well, you know what's funny? Why are all these women trying to keep him away from kids? Right? Malaya accusing him of things with the kids. The ex-wife is accusing him, don't want him to see the kids. That's a lot of people not wanting you to see the damn kids, Daniel. I have access. It's not a concern. The chance for exposure is career boosting. What type of career is he talking about? We read that one. We read this one. Okay, I'm just showing you guys the messages. So he's blaming Lilly for the black eye on Jack. All right, let me see what this next set of them are. Let me close this. Holy shit. PJ just sent me a whole slew of them. All right, let's see if this is going to. All right. Let me share this with you guys. Daniel, the judgment doesn't bother me. I have the understanding that humans judge everyone deserves the right to. It's just on a worldwide scale. All right, let's see what this is. I'm not sure if Malaya checked on the kids when marking them absent. I was asleep at 6:17 a.m. That's awful precise to say. I was asleep at 6:17 a.m. I don't know. It's just odd, you know, because I would say, hey, yeah, I was asleep around 6 something. He knew the exact minute he was asleep. That seems a little strange. I did message people that showed support, but it soon turned into people trying to extract information. PJ is a major sleuth. Yeah, she gets everything. She's quick with it. Slow down the questions, that would help. I already have access to the best lawyers. Why would he say that? I already have access to the best lawyers. Hey, mofo, you're going to need them. Okay? Well, this is all said and done. You're going to need the best lawyers. She was hugging me and crying on my shoulder, then poof, she left. I appreciate the public's help. I truly do. The internet is a cruel place, though. It can be. Listen, if you would have came out here being truthful, I think people would have rallied behind you. You came out here lying and telling different stories, inconsistent stories. That's why nobody rallied behind you. That's why the internet's being cruel to you. It ain't nothing personal. Believe it or not, Lily had a black eye from Wednesday, 2 days before the disappearance. A Tonka truck swung up and hit her in the face at Patty's house. She pushed down on it when she was going around the floor. The Netflix thing was a joke based on the ridiculousness of this case. It's supposed to be about 2 missing children, and the world is making up insane stories and accusations. No, I'm not allowed to make a joke, so expect to be bashed. You're not supposed to make jokes. Why would you make jokes? My mom takes it hard, but I tell her in time things will change, but time can't even be reversed. Children don't get younger.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it kind of seems like you put your mom in this situation, you know, like, because somebody knows where these kids are. Dolly Vision, he may have autism. He don't have no damn autism. He got some murdertism. Major's crime urges me not to talk live. My story or events would sway too much pressure on individuals or parties involved. What a lie! This dude right here, plus one slip up of evidence, could harm the ongoing investigation. The risk is too great. But you can talk to the media, right? What's the difference between YouTube and mainstream media? Nothing. Nothing. If you talk to me or you talk to anybody, not even me, anybody, it's the same as you talk to a news reporter. What you say will be used against you in a court of law. There's no difference. I really highly doubt that Major Crimes Unit told him not to talk live. Now he sounds like Malaya. I think they're still, I don't know. I get a funny vibe that they're working together on this. That this is, the fighting is fake. I got a weird feeling. Me, Darren, and Mom are the only ones to speak out. Huh, yeah. The only ones to lie. No, you're lucky investigators hate me talking. I don't think they hate you talking because you've done told so many inconsistent statements. They probably think you're a effing liar. The video of the apple picking is from last year. Wade filmed it, which is Cindy's boyfriend. Okay. All right. Shocked RCMP when she left. She left right in front of major crime investigator too. All right. Okay. No judge away. Everyone has the right to. Trolls online, many, but message inbox is all support. Okay, Malaya pointing at a UFO. Let's see what else there is. I got more. Okay. Did I go over those? I went over those. I ain't went over these yet. All right. Let's pull this up. Major crime only urges me not to engage with questions containing evidence. There's a mountain of evidence not displayed online that only me and major crime knows. That's why many questions I don't answer because it leads down a rabbit hole of speculation. Blah, 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 blah. I think opinions are limited to perspective. The polygraph exam was administered by, okay, we've seen that. I believe they're alive. We read these, didn't we? Okay. All right. So what do you guys take from that? I'm going to open the phone lines back up. All right. Give me 1 second. Phone lines are back open. I just want to make sure we went through everything that PJ sent over. And there are doubles in there. Okay. Hold on. Producers call. Hold on. Producers calling. Yes. Okay. What is it circled on his head? Okay. All right. It's hard to see on that. That ain't the picture I seen. But I'll share it. All right. All right. She's saying this is the bruise picture, but this ain't the picture that I seen. Okay. Give me 1 second. And they're saying there's a bruise right there. I really can't see that, but you can see a little mark under his eye right there. But I seen a different picture. This ain't the one that I seen. Usually only the killer and police know all the evidence. D. Wood, Jamie Durwood are the ones trying to make up believe all the lies they are telling us. Yeah, don't believe nothing none of these people say. I wouldn't. Not until there's answers for these kids. Like right now, I don't trust none of them. So I really don't see it really good in this picture. I mean, you can see a little bit. He has a black eye here, but I don't really see this bruise. But then again, I don't have my glasses on either. But that's not the original picture I seen of him with the black eye. So let me close this. Now let's open the phone lines back up. I just want to get through that with my producer. All right, phone lines are back open. Calling numbers on the screen. Dolly. Hello. Hey.
Hello. Okay, so you notice the picture. Okay, so the witness that apparently saw the guy on the ATV with the yellow box on it or whatever. So if you go to the picture with Justin and he's leaning back on it, that ATV has a yellow top storage box on it.
Okay.
So like that's what I'm thinking. That witness has been true about it. And also that picture that you just showed, it looks like the picture, the same thing where Malaya took on the first day of school. So it could even be from then. Oh,
okay. Yeah, that ain't the original. I had seen a different picture where you could clearly see his black eye. And he had a bruise. One of them had a bruise on his cheek or a burn or something right here on his face.
Yeah, on his chin. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they didn't send the kid to school. She had a black eye. Was she even sick? Has anybody
No, because she had a black eye.
has anybody really even asked Daniel, was she
I have,
sick?
yeah.
Have you asked him?
Well, I talked to him. I asked him about the thing that he said that they were at Patty's on Wednesday doing the laundry, and that's when Lily got the black eye, which is why she wasn't in school.
Okay, yeah, you got to tell the viewers who you are and where you're calling from. I forgot to tell you that.
Oh yeah, my name is Jess. I'm calling from BC, Canada.
Okay, so he said that Lily was sick.
Well, he didn't say. He said like some other cast to other people. Yes, he has stated that yes, both the kids were sick all week or whatever for the past 3 days that they missed school or whatever. But I don't think that's true. I think it's because Lily had a black eye and Patty could have witnessed this. I don't know. But then I asked Daniel about Wednesday and his timing, and he said no, it was on Thursday, and we got home at 4 p.m. So I don't know.
Okay, all right. People are saying
just some things I know. What's that?
Ozzy died.
Who?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh no way!
That's what they're saying in the chat.
Oh shit!
Is that true?
No, it's possible. I mean,
I know he was sick.
Yeah. Oh shit. Rip.
Yeah, he died at 76.
Wow.
Rest in peace to Ozzy. Okay, I appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, peace.
Bye.
Wow. Holy cow. All right. Okay, now we know Ozzy bit the heads off a bat and he was the Prince of Darkness, but I hope they kept a place in heaven for Ozzy. Okay, he was a good father. I mean, he's a little bit of an alcoholic, but wow. I mean, you got to remember that a lot of that is just show, no different than Marilyn Manson, Alice Cooper, Kiss, you know. I had to Google it just to make sure. Dies at 76, just weeks after his farewell show. And I thought, you know, considering he was in a wheelchair and strapped in, that 10 minutes ago, wow, they posted that 9 minutes ago, 16 minutes ago. Man, that is sad news. Rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne. Prayers for Kelly, Sharon, his son, Jack. God, that is crazy. I mean, I wonder what they're going to do for a funeral for Ozzy. You just thought Ozzy's going to live forever, but I mean, I had watched a thing about he had just got this surgery where they removed a vertebrae in his neck, and they had to like move his esophagus over, and then they put a vertebrae in, and then everything was going bad from there, and he has Parkinson's. So only 76 years old. I hope I make it to 76. That'd be great. That's another 26 years from now. He got to see his daughter get engaged. Yes, definitely. Big hugs to the Osbournes. And wow, what a mark Ozzy made on the world. Okay. Just, I don't even know what to say. It's heartbreaking that the man is gone. A legend. I mean, just a legend. So, man, no more war pigs have the power. It just sucks, right? It's gonna take me a while to be able to deal with that one, right? I really liked Ozzy. Like, I remember I went and seen a few different Oz Fest, and I went and seen the No More's tour, and then he toured for another 25 years, but he had planned on quitting a long time ago. And I am glad he got to do that farewell concert, right? And go out on his terms and give the people one last ride on the crazy train, right? Iron Man, and just, man, he had so many hit songs. One of I think one of my favorite Ozzy songs was No More Tears. And man, he hung in there for a long time. Yeah. Sharon. And the sharing his life with everybody was, when they did what was it, Family Values, Ozzy's Family Values or whatever, the Osbournes. Man. When I seen somebody say it, I was thinking, I hope they're lying. I hope they're kidding. I hope this is not true. But damn. Oh, wow, I want to just listen and heard you. Ozzy say Ozzy passed away. He didn't look healthy in his last performance, though. No, I mean, I watched him sit down and talk about it, and believe it or not, he said he was going to die. He said he was dying, and that he thanked Sharon for being the angel that she was and putting up with his shit, right? Some dudes are hard to put up with, like me, all right? So it takes a special type of woman to put up with some type of people. You know what I'm saying? And Sharon did a good job, and Ozzy really loved her. And I know today she is crushed. And Jack and man, I've never gotten to meet Ozzy. I did get his autograph, right? But I didn't get to meet him. He signed a shirt for me, but I never got to meet him. And I met Kelly, right? Kelly used to date the guy from The Used. And when I was touring in the band, the dude that was in my band was friends with Bert from The Used. And so he had got his backstage passes, and I walked in, and I didn't even notice her at first, but they had some food on the table. There was some like chicken fingers. And I reached over and grabbed a chicken finger, and Kelly was sitting right beside it, right? So, then of course I introduced myself to her, got to meet her, and she's not with him now, but at the time that I met her, she was. I love The Used. Yeah, well, so she was backstage, and we hung out with her for a little while, and Bert, the singer, I think that's his name, right? Bert. My buddy E, it was his friend. He had known him for a long time, just in the music circuit. I didn't know him, but I met him. He seemed like a nice guy, right? Matter of fact, we got backstage passes to a few different shows of The Used. I used to hang out with The Used. Cool. All right. Well, you know what I'm talking about then. And he dated Kelly for, I don't know how long he dated her for, but I just know she was there when I went to the show. And that was, I didn't know who any of The Used were. I knew who Kelly Osbourne was, though. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, that's Kelly, So, I mean, Ozzy's a legend. I mean, how can you not, you're going to know his kids, right, when you see them. You got an autograph from my grandma at an AA meeting in Pensacola when he was touring? That's crazy. Dolly, mail me your autograph ASAP, sir. I don't even think I have it anymore. I was a teenager when I got that. I never really kept up with any of that stuff. I used to have shit signed by Rob Zombie and all kinds of people. I used to go to so many shows. Like, my daughter, she's at a concert now. She's been traveling around the country going to these K-pop concerts. I used to go to concerts just like that. It'd be almost, I go to every damn concert that came, I would be there. So I was a big music head as a kid. And then, of course, when I got like 17, 18-year-old, I joined a band. And then we started touring and playing with a bunch of people. So a lot of the people that I looked up to, I got to play with, and I realized that a lot of these people that I thought were heroes were just drug addict assholes. I hate to say it, but it was a lot of that. Like, you'll get to meet people. And I tell you one person I met that was really cool. And I couldn't believe it. This was just like one of my heroes as a kid. Joey Belladonna, right? From Anthrax. So we got to open up, right? And I was the opening man, and I got to meet Joey Belladonna, and I couldn't believe it. I met him, first time I met him, I was in an alley. And I told him, I said, man, I used to have big posters of you on my wall as a kid. It's always been my dream to play with you, right? And, well, just to meet you. When I was a kid, I didn't never know I was going to be in a band, right? I just wanted to meet the guy. He was like one of my heroes. And he was like, he gave me a hug, and he said, well, you're going to have to get a new dream. Right? And then he let me sing a song with him at the show. And that was probably like one of my highlights of music, right? You know, so rest in peace to Ozzy, man. But a lot of the people I met were not that great of people, right? You see these people, you think they just awesome, especially like, you know, you look at some of these people like huge icons, or just some of them are icons, but you just have a different perspective when you're used to seeing somebody on your wall. And then when you meet them in person and they're assholes, you're like, eh. Now listen, this may piss a lot of people off, and I know a lot of people love this guy, but this dude was an asshole to me, right? Dimebag Daryl. Rest in peace to Dimebag. I love their music, Pantera. The dude was a little bit of an asshole. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I ain't going to say nothing bad. I ain't going to put no bad mojo on his name, because I know a lot of people love that guy, right? I'm just saying he was a little bit of an asshole to me. I don't know about everybody else, but to me, I was like, yeah, dude, it is what it is. Anybody like Dimebag Daryl in here? Anybody? I met Pantera many a time. That's why I'm saying I can kind of speak on that one. I've seen Pantera like 700,000 times. Vinnie Paul is sweet. Okay. I didn't have the best experience with Dimebag. But I ain't gonna say nothing bad about it, man. Rest in peace to him. And Typo Negative, yeah. What was his name? I know he died. Brian Steele, is that what it was? Something Steele. "30 years a teacher." I know just a little bit about it. I like the Eagles, the Rolling Stones, the Animals. Big Guy, yes. Okay, back on track. That sucks about Ozzy, though, right? That is horrible. All right, I'm going to open the phone lines back up. I got a little caught up in the whole Ozzy died thing. Now, you know, Daniel blaming Lilly for blacking Jack's eyes. Allegedly, when she went missing, she had, I'll tell you somebody that's really nice that everybody says is an asshole. Dave Mustaine, right? I thought he was a super nice guy. A lot of people say that Dave Mustaine is a really big asshole, but I met Dave Mustaine and he was a super Dolly.
Hi, Dolly. This is Sister Karen here.
Hey,
Connie's sister.
Hey, Sister Karen.
Didn't I hear, or maybe I just heard it in rumors, but didn't they say when they searched the woods and everything, didn't they feel that the children were no longer with us?
The cops, yes. RCMP,
Yeah.
Yes. They said the odds of the kids being with us if they're in the woods is, that's why they backed out the woods, because if they'd been out there that long, they'd been dead.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't thinking this in my brain or had it twisted with some other story that had come.
On day two, when Major Crime came out there, people should have knew that something was up.
Okay.
You know, because right then they're kind of telling you, without telling you that, hey, something else is going on. And we're,
Gotcha.
yeah, that's what I took from it. Right.
That's the way I took it too, but it's been a while back, and you know, I'm old, so you're a spring chicken to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean,
So,
I had from the very beginning, just when I seen the house and I heard their stories, I had that gut feeling that these kids weren't going to be found, and this was foul play. I had the same feeling in Quentin Simon. I had the same feeling in Sebastian Rogers.
Yeah, I remember Connie talking all about the Quentin Simon, and I did go back and watch your video with the ghost, and I do believe that was him chasing you.
Oh, you see the ghost
yeah.
one? That is the craziest.
Yeah. And I remember Connie talked a lot about you, and I have her Dolly Vision shirt.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wear that. I have it.
And I'm sorry to hear about your sister. That was terrible.
Yeah, it's been a year and a half now. We finally closed on her house last week and met over the last weekend with her sons to say goodbye to their childhood home and finish packing it up for the new owners to take possession.
Okay.
So basically, all her estate is done now, and we can let her rest.
Okay.
But I'll always come in as Connie Branch. That's just my way of.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't into the true crime I wasn't into the true crime like she was, but we heard all about it all the time. So after she passed, I started going through some of her stuff and the notebooks that she had on some of the missing children. I was amazed at the detail she had written in them. And then I started watching it just being on her, you know, her lie or her name. And so now I've started to really get into it. I guess maybe I've always loved it, but never wanted to admit it.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm into it now.
Once you're into true crime, it's hard to get out.
It is. And like I said, I wasn't into it as much as she was, and I probably still am not, because she was a true crimer.
Yeah.
So,
well.
But yeah, it was very nice to hear your voice on the phone finally, and keep up the good work.
Well, it's good you're taking up her spot, you know, and filling in for her while she's.
Yeah. So if you see Connie Branch, it's always Sister Kieran, but I don't think I'll ever
while
change
she's
that.
waiting on us, you know, I'm sure she's.
Yes, she is.
So
she is. Her oldest boy is still having a hard time with it. Like, we didn't think he was going to leave the house to say goodbye to his childhood home, because she lived there for over 30 years.
Yeah.
So, but all right. I don't want to tie up your lines, but it was nice to talk to you, sir.
You be good. Peace.
You too. Bye-bye.
God, how time flies. It's already been a year and a half. How many of you guys have been around? A lot of you have. So y'all remember Connie, right? And rest in peace to her. Like, yeah, we're all going to meet that day, like Ozzy today, right? We'll all be there someday. You know, that's one thing we're guaranteed. We're all going to die. Okay. It sucks, but it is what it is. This journey only lasts so long. And that's the importance to love the people around you, because you really don't know how long you got on this earth. Nobody does, right? It could be today. It could be tomorrow. It could be 30 years from now. You know, you just never know. But, you know, and not just you, but the people around you that you love. Nobody lives forever. We're guaranteed in life one thing, that we're all going to meet our maker. That's what we're guaranteed. What do JLR says is true. Ozzy is gone. Well, I don't think we need JLR's confirmation on Ozzy Osbourne. I think Google works for everybody. Okay. I think that's and listen, it ain't true unless JLR says it. Why does JLR look like Lex Luthor in the new Superman movie? Has anybody seen the new Superman movie? Raise your hand if you have. Okay. JLR looks just like Lex Luthor. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly, it's Mel La from Texas. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I have a question for you. That day when you were at baby Quentin Simon's house and his little ghost ran by, did you feel anything? Did you feel any tingles, any like vibes, anything like that?
To be honest, nah, I didn't.
No.
The night had an eerie vibe to it, like I I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It had a haunted house vibe, right? Because it was right around Halloween. I think it was it Halloween. It either the night before Halloween or Halloween that it happened on. It was right around Halloween because I remember I was out there carving pumpkins that said Quentin on it. I put a big Q on the pumpkin and that I carved. So I know it was around Halloween. Yeah, it had an eerie vibe to it, right? Because the house itself kind of reminded me of the house from not Poltergeist, but what is the Amityville Horror House with the windows up top? It kind of reminded me of that. So it had an eerie vibe. But to answer your question, no, I didn't feel the ghost or notice the ghost until people were telling me there was a ghost beside me.
I believe it was him. I do believe it was him.
Oh, I'm 100% confident that that's what it was. I just couldn't believe it, right? Like I'm super skeptic of things. Like I'm the first one to try to debunk some shit, and I couldn't debunk that. I was like, oh, them a leg. That's a small child running right up to me, and that shit. And you got to remember, they say Savannah is one of the most haunted places in the country.
That's true. I've never been, but I've heard.
And the weird thing about it was I was just talking about ghosts, and I mean, I think I'm a ghost magnet. I don't know. And I still got all the video footage from the Lizzie Borden house. I haven't even went through it yet. I haven't even watched it. So I wonder if there's any ghosts in any of those videos that pop out. I mean, I have to go through it and I haven't had a chance yet. I've been so busy. So
yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah, the spirit world's real. And so many people watch that video live that I think it's one of the best paranormal videos I have ever seen. Ever.
Yeah, it's good. It's real good. It definitely one of my top 3 I ever seen, you know?
Yeah. And the crazy thing is the reason I say that is because I know it's real. Because I was there. You know what I'm saying? I know it's real.
Yes.
And you can look at the location and what happened to the baby, and then you look at the video and it's a damn baby running at me. It's the craziest shit I've ever saw in my life. I can't think of nothing else like it ever. Like,
let me ask you this. You know how you said like you have this gift that when you meet somebody you could know what they're about, like you feel it?
Uh-huh.
When you were near Leilani, did you feel like she's a monster?
Yeah.
Did you feel that? You did? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was never I was about a foot away from her, maybe when she walked up to me. I mean, in speaking distance, and she's like, Dolly, can I get some soap? She asked me for some soap. That's the closest she got to me, right? And she walked up and asked me, could she get some soap? And I told her, I said, look, I don't just ride around with damn soap on me. The next time I come back, I'll bring you some. And when I went back down there, I went to jail, and then she went to jail. So it was like we missed each other in passing. You know? I got out of jail and she went to jail. So she but I did bring her back some soap. I was going to give her some soap, you know. But yes, I knew when I got around her that she was 100% guilty. And I told her, you know, you're going to prison. You might as well come out here and talk to me because I'm going to be the only one to write you. I ain't never wrote her. But that's what I told her, you know. So and I just said that bullshit. And I didn't really have no intent of ever really writing her, but I figured, hey, I want to get her to talk to me. And yeah, when she's so emotionless and she don't give a damn, she don't care she's in prison. She is void of any soul. And she is the coldest. She is the coldest, youngest woman because she's young. I think when I met her, she was 23, and she was dark, gone. Like, I don't even know how to describe it, but not like anybody I've ever met. Like, and yet I knew instantly she had did it. Like I'm a vibe person. If I can get close to you, I can tell. I can shit, right? I don't know how. I just instinctually, you know, and But yeah, that's kind of how that went down. I could tell I
Wow.
knew she did it, and her behavior, she knew she did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
but she was trying to blame. She was sitting there telling me that Daniel did it. You know, she was blaming Daniel, and she was answering my questions, and I just knew she was lying.
Dang. Well,
I appreciate.
regarding Nova, yeah. Thank you, Dolly. I was gonna say Jack and Lily. I don't think they're with us.
No, I don't either.
No,
I don't either.
I don't.
If I was in Canada, their ghost would run up to me. So
Yeah. Well, take care, Dolly.
all right, peace. Yeah, guys, for anybody that's from Canada and you don't know what we're talking about, I covered the case of little baby Quentin Simon. I went down there. His mama murdered him. All right. So me and the mother, it was crazy. I don't even know how to describe it. It was like people protest out in front of the house. She hid in the house for the first few days, and then they decided that they wanted to confront the protesters. So they brought lawn chairs out and sat in the front yard. And in the beginning, Leilani was hiding. Okay. And there's this picture that went viral of me out there. But the reason there's a story to it, and I would have to share the story with you guys. So Leilani was hiding in the backyard, and Billy Joe is Leilani's mama. Okay. Billy Joe's ex-husband married this new lady. All right. Y'all following along so far? That lady worked at a sign company. Right. So she brought me a bunch of signs out there that said like justice for Quentin, honk for Quentin. And one of the signs I still got, it said, I still got it sitting right there. Still to this day, I got it. It says, Leilani, will you marry? It says Leilani. Her name is Leilani, but the sign says Leilani because all she does is lie. It says, will you marry me? Right. So I see Leilani's hiding behind the fence and she's kind of peeking out. Right. So I run over to the yard and I hold up the sign and it says, Leilani, will you marry me? And the first time she read the sign, I don't think she read it right because she kind of smiled, right? Like she thought it was funny, right? And then she steps back behind the fence and then she steps out and looks again. And then she gives me the double fingers, right? And I ain't talking about the index finger. I ain't talking about the pointers, right? She gave me two fingers. She ducked back out and she's seen it the second time and she's seen what it said instead of Leilani, right? So, and then that's when I told her, I said, hey, Leilani, you should come out here and talk to me because I'm going to be the only one that writes you when your ass goes to prison, right? And she kept going, I ain't going to prison. And I was like, yeah, you are, right? So this is how our conversation started. She's like, and she really believed, and you could tell I ain't going to prison. She didn't care. She didn't care. When she got sentenced, she did cry, right? I was sitting back there. I seen her tears. I almost wanted to taste them, right? Because she deserved this, right? She deserved this. But she was crying for herself, which I was kind of surprised because she never cared. She never appeared to care. There was no way she didn't know she was going to prison. She acted like nothing happened. Like nothing. I mean, just like, woman, you slung your baby, it beat your baby to death and threw it in the trash can. But she acted like nothing happened. Right? Like, woman, why are you worried about getting some Dolly soap? Right? That's the crazy part. I swear to Jesus. I probably got it on video. She walked up and said, hey, Dolly, I heard you make soap. Right? And I'm like, it's just the crazy. And this is a baby killer. Okay? She's like, I heard you make soap. I want some soap. I'm thinking, damn. I don't know how I ended up in a situation where, you know, I'm dealing with baby killers and families that are going through the worst trauma of ever, right? It's just, I always tell people I didn't pick true crime. True crime picked me. I think true crime needed me, you know, and I don't know. That was a crazy one. And I guarantee you, when I seen Malaya, she reminded me a lot of Leilani Simon. A lot. Like I ain't gonna say they look exactly alike, but they have some resemblances. The way they acted when their kids were missing reminded me of each other. And I honestly think that Malaya right, is what we need to be calling her, because she's lying too. They're a lot alike. It's another situation, I think, a similar story, because Leilani didn't like Quentin, but she loved Sky and the other baby, right? This is a situation where Malaya didn't like Jack and Lily, but she loved Meadow. I mean, do you see the similarities? And Leilani threw her babies away. We don't know what Malaya did yet, right? Yeah, rest in peace to Ozzy. So there's similarities. And if you don't know, I was out there and one of the craziest things happened. A ghost video appeared, right? We were shooting a live video out there on the eve of Halloween. I believe it was Halloween Eve. I'm not exactly positive. I think it was the day before Halloween, or it was on Halloween. I can't remember. And I'm walking down the street with a light, and out of the house runs a ghost. I mean, on video, I'm talking about full apparition ghost, like Ghostbusters type fucking ghost, like unexplainable type ghost. Runs right behind me. Like it's running at me and then runs right behind me and vanishes, right? Like gone. And people, it's Halloween. I'm sure it was the eve of Halloween or Halloween, because people are like, Dolly, there's a ghost behind you. And I'm like, what? They're like, Dolly, there's a ghost beside you. People, my chat, because I got my phone in my hand, right? I got my phone in my hand and I'm reading the chat. And people are like, there's a ghost beside you. And I'm thinking people are just messing with me because it's Halloween. People are trolling in the chat, you know, just making up stuff. So I get back to the hotel room that night and somebody sent me the clip of the ghost running out. And that's the link to it right there. Turtle Gang posted. Okay. If you want to watch it, you want to see the video that I'm talking about. It's undamn believable, right? It's what it is. So they send me the clip and I'm sitting in the hotel room and I'm watching it. As soon as I see it, I just get chills. I'm like, no way. No damn way. That's not only is it a ghost, but it's the ghost of Quentin Simon. Right? So I'm thinking somebody has photoshopped this. This is doctored. Somebody's messing with me. So I go back to the live video, right? And I pull the live video up to around the time I see in the video of the clip that's been sent to me. And I watched the live video. And sure enough, the live video is exactly the same. The video has not been edited, right? We shot these videos on a phone on the road. Okay, so everything's being shot from a phone, my phone and Bullhorn Betty's phone. And it was actually captured on Betty's phone. But of me, I was walking past the phone when the ghost ran out. That right there is, and listen, so many people are like, it was trying to run towards something good. Let's all watch it, Dolly. Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up. I need the link myself. Hold on. Let me see if I got the link. Repost a link to it so I can grab it real quick? Turtle Gang. Let's let the chat catch up. Somebody post a link and I'll pull it up. Yeah, we'll watch it. I haven't watched it. In some time. A lot of subs haven't seen it. Oh yeah, it's crazy. All right, here it is, I think.
Is this Quentin's?
All right, hold on. Let me pull it over here.
Simon's ghost? In this clip, footage shows what looks.
All right, I got it. Let me pull it up. All right, now y'all watch this right in the very beginning. This shit is crazy. I mean, it's just, see that person standing there with the light? That is me. All right. This house right here is the home of Quentin Simon, who was murdered and thrown in the dumpster.
Is this Quentin Simon's ghost?
Y'all see it?
Clip, footage shows what looks like to be an apparition walking behind Dolly Vision TV on Bullhorn Betty's live last night.
And so we went back, and sure as I am sitting here, that was on my original video, and I literally dropped my phone.
I contact one of America's most well-known alien abductees, and he tells me what he thinks.
So David, I have to send you this video, and I want you to tell me what you think about it.
Okay, I'll do it.
If you look up Bullhorn Betty on YouTube and click on her live video captioned Live Quentin Night Crew Edition, and scroll in 1 hour and 13 minutes in, the apparition appears. Notice how the apparition walks behind the fence in Dolly Vision, but does not appear in front of it. It almost looks as if a small creature is walking, but there was nothing there. It's eerie to watch, as it seems to be coming from Quentin's home. After it passes Dolly, it dissolves into thin air.
All right, so we started getting calls last night, like text messages, emails, just the phones were blowing up. And people were saying that there was a little boy running near Dolly. And I'm like, no, there wasn't. And so we look at the video, and it was not a video. It was a clip of my video. And of course it had a logo at the bottom of it. And I saw it and I'm like, oh, that's Photoshopped. That's definitely Photoshopped. And he's like, no, it looks real. It looks real. And I'm like, no, it's got to be Photoshop. Go back to my video. Go back to my video. And so he went and posted on it. And I'm like, did you check it? And he's like, no. I'm like, it looks Photoshopped. And so I said, well, let's pull up my video. And so somebody had identified that it was like right at the 1 hour, 14 minute mark. So I started at 1 hour and 13 minutes and started watching. And I didn't see it the first go round. And so we got the time again. And so we went back, and sure as I am sitting here, that was on my original video. And I literally dropped my phone. Like I was like freaked out. I dropped my phone. There is no way in this world that I actually thought that there was a ghost, but I saw it and I watched it again, and you can clearly see legs running.
David Eckhart is an alien abductee and UFO experiencer. I interviewed him last year and wrote this article showing photographs he's taken of entities. He's been on numerous TV shows, such as the History Channel.
David Eckhart is asleep in his bedroom. Suddenly, the camera picks up something alarming. A short, skinny humanoid figure begins slowly peeking out from behind the open door.
I backed and forth until I found it, and then that's what it showed me. And I showed my son. He's like, got these tears coming to his eyes. No way.
This interview clip they used is from my full interview with David Eckhart. I decided to call him to see what he thinks of the Quentin apparition video.
So David, I have to send you this video, and I want you to tell me what you think about it.
Okay, I can do it. I can do it.
So it's
working on a new case.
Yeah, I'm working on a murder case. And I'm not going to tell you what it's about yet because I want to give you the benefit of the doubt. But there's something in this video which you'll see when you watch it. And I want you to tell me what you think it is when you watch it. But yeah, I just texted it over to you. And just watch it, and you'll see something moving in the video.
Okay, I'll do it.
The apparition goes behind, because some people are saying that this is a lens flare. But the problem here is there was no lights shining my way. They were all shining toward the house. And when you look at that ghost, or the apparition, it runs behind Dolly, not in front of him. So it really is something that I believe is a ghost. And then when we look at the history of Savannah, Georgia, we realize that this is not an uncommon thing here.
You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Mom and I are actually out in Tennessee right now because we're going on a Bigfoot expedition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good then. Well, enjoy yourself.
Okay, David sent me an audio.
Okay. So, the crazy thing about this is Olivia, which she is the one that did Cyber Sleuths on Hulu, and, she's down to have a few documentaries now. She was in town in Georgia with us, right? So she was getting ready to leave to go chase Bigfoot because she really likes to Bigfoot hunt and into paranormal and stuff like that. So at the end of Buckhalter Road, which was the road we were on in Georgia, was this church. This church sits on a corner, and at night it fills up with fog, and it looks like something straight out of a fucking horror movie, right? I mean, just scariest place you ever seen. I mean, it looks haunted. Like, if you ever seen a place it looked like something out of a Scooby-Doo cartoon. That's how haunted this place looked. So I told Olivia, which I'm really not into this stuff. I said, Olivia, we should go ghost hunting. There's this church down at the end of Buckhalter, and I guarantee you'll catch a ghost on video. Right? That's what I was like. I just, for some reason, was summoning ghosts. I don't know, because I had brought it up. Right? I had brought it up. And she's like, no, we're going to North Carolina. They were leaving Georgia to go to North Carolina to go hunt for Bigfoot. Okay? So she left for Bigfoot. We stayed there at Quentin Simon's house and, of course, caught the ghost video. So we called Olivia, and I said, Olivia, did you catch Bigfoot? And she was like, no. Well, don't feel bad. Nobody else has either, right? Nobody else has caught Bigfoot either. And I was like, but we caught a ghost on video. And then she was like, no way. And so we sent her the video, and of course she made the video off the video that we sent her of the ghost. But she didn't catch Bigfoot. If she would have stayed, she would have captured the ghost video, So, timing's everything in this world. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Like, who is that? TLC? Stick to the rivers and ponds that you're used to. She should have stayed, right? She should have stayed. So, Bigfoot still missing like Jack and Lily. You got better chances of finding Bigfoot at this point than you do Jack and Lily, because them kids, I believe somebody got a shovel. I ain't gonna mention no names. Some people say it's a rake. You're out in the middle of the night with a shovel. The next day, not only you got a kid with black eyes, you got a alleged step grandmother with a shovel standing in the driveway at night, right? Allegedly leveling the ground. And then you got 2 missing kids. If I went to Nova Scotia, would I see Jack and Lily's ghosts? I'm telling you guys, I am a ghost magnet. We went out ghost hunting, and we picked up audio of somebody talking in the woods with nobody around. Nobody. And that was Elbow Road, which is a story about this woman that people keep seeing in a wedding dress as they drive down this road, right? And it was scary. That was kind of scary. and we picked up some stuff there. Then we went to the most haunted house in America, Peyton Randolph's house. Some people say he was the first president of the country, okay, before George Washington. We went to his house, and there's been some, it was like, where slaves lived, and there was a couple slaves that killed themselves. There was somebody that died on the stairs. We didn't get nothing, right? It was just like nothing, right? So we were getting kind of, like, damn, there's nothing. We thought we were going to catch all this ghost stuff, and it wasn't nothing. So we left there and went to the graveyard, like the Civil War graveyard down the street. Oh my God. We got all kind of shit. I mean, it was like, but I think I'm just a ghost magnet. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the empath of, like, she was talking about, when I get near people, I can tell if they're guilty or innocent. I really can. I don't know how. It's just, once I know kind of thing. But everywhere we go, there's some type of encounter, especially if it's anywhere haunted. Now, I haven't watched the videos from Lizzie Borden's house. I haven't had a chance. People have sent me pictures of the live that I did from there, and it looks like there's somebody standing behind me. I don't know. I haven't really checked it out. I still have my camera sitting right here. I have not even took the card out of it yet to go through the footage of when we were using, like, the spirit box. When we used the spirit boxes in Lizzie Borden's house, the first thing it told us was to get out. I mean, clear, get out. I mean, you can't mistake it. You can't, the box said, get out. And I was like, oh no, we paid $400. I think that room was like $400. We ain't going nowhere. You better pack our bags for us and put us out, because unless you're going to possess me and make me leave, I ain't going nowhere. Lizzie Borden miniseries was filmed in my neighborhood. LOL. Yeah, but time, that room was expensive. And basically we picked a night that was like a weeknight, and it wasn't really busy. We pretty much had the whole house. So we pretty much had Lizzie's house. There was just like 1-2 rooms that we didn't have, but the rest of the house, we had the whole house. And we got the children's room. We did a lot of spirit box stuff in the children's room. We did a lot of spirit box in the parlor. We did, I don't think we did where they found Lizzie's daddy, but we did it in the room next to it. But I'm going to try to get that footage up of that when I can. Now, if I go through it and there's something crazy in it, and like I said, I don't know, but I filmed it from multiple cameras. I filmed it from my GoPro, the Sony, some stuff on my phone, and we set the cameras up in different locations in the room and cut the lights off and just went to town, so. Yeah, she stated things that, okay, get back on topic. Yeah, she stated things that annoyed her, right? And how she couldn't take Lily screaming. And it sounded like the kids were more of a nuisance to her than anything else. All right. PJ sent a photo. Let's see what this is. Okay, it's me and Lolo sleeping. Well, I want it open. I'm knocked out. Okay. All right, let me open the phone lines back up. I was talking. I got caught up sharing that ghost story. But after the whole Georgia thing, it made us want to go do some, because then I knew ghosts were real, right? Without even trying, we caught a ghost. So I was like, okay, well, let's try to see what we could get. And then, so we've been doing a little bit of ghost hunting here and there. Belinda, where did you see that? Is Belinda in here with us? Oh, she is in here with us. Hey, Belinda. They said technology too. I get to ranting. What's up, Stony Stone? Ozzy died Tuesday morning. His family announced in a statement obtained by the Times he was 76. Yeah, the Prince of Darkness, right? Dolly.
Hi, Dolly.
Hey.
Susan from Maryland.
Hey, Susan.
When you were talking before about all the rock stars that were assholes, there's a good movie, and you probably saw it, Rockstar.
Yeah, with
Jennifer Aniston and Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah, Marky Mark. Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, that was a good movie. And as far as about Jack and Lily, I think that Daniel sounds like he's bragging, like he's talking about a job boost, and he's talking about the lie detectors again, and it just sounds like he's doing more bragging and boasting about this whole thing.
How can you get a career boost off of two missing kids?
I have no idea. I was wondering that myself.
I don't know the context of the message either, though. So when he said the career boost, I was thinking, I don't think this is good for your career. I think a lot of people would not want to hire you because of something like this.
Exactly. And it just sounds like all this with his, and again, his mother was bashing the children. I mean, you know, she was talking about how Lily was a prim, P-R-I-M, and then she called her a diva. And then she said she changed her clothes so many times, and she called her that girl. She said that I didn't know what that girl was going to come out in.
Yeah, and I mean, she also said, like, you know, about the screaming. Who could put up with her screaming?
Exactly.
And I was like,
and she was talking about how Lily would go around and call, "Come on, Jackie, let's play," you know, and she just sounded like she was in their business. The mother sounded like she was in their business. Like, I think the first night they came home from the laundromat, and she said, "Y'all are getting home pretty late, aren't you?" Like, she sounded like she was up in their business all the time, and she did not like those children.
Yeah, she sounded real defensive. Like, the only reason she was doing it is to clear up what people were saying about her and her son.
Exactly. They're all so worried about their reputation on the media, but they're not even thinking about the children. Like, why would he get on there and say, it almost sounded like Daniel was saying, "I'm doing y'all a favor by getting on here and answering questions." In that one message,
yeah,
I can't remember the exact wording, but it was, I'm sorry.
He definitely ain't doing nobody any favors. If anything, the internet is doing him a favor by keeping this story alive. And if he's not responsible, if he's not.
Yeah, it was like one of the first messages. It said, "Y'all are lucky," and that was like the first sentence, and then it said that I'm answering all these questions. Look over the messages again. Maybe I was mistaken, but it sounds like he's just bragging and boasting,
He's acting like
a big thing of all this.
He's acting like the RCMP is giving him information that nobody else has, like it's against Malaya or something. You know,
right. Because he was also talking about how that he couldn't say too much because it was going to bring all the important players out of the hole or something. Like you're right. Like he was like almost like a threat to her. Like he was going to give away something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking they're both responsible. It's hard not to think that because he's so suspicious, and then she's not saying nothing. Neither one of them are acting normal.
Exactly.
You know.
And another thing is that in the beginning, I listened to her interview, and right before she mentioned Daniel's name, she said, "And I told." But then she goes in after Daniel. She asked a question about, "Did you hear the Jack and Lily?" Like, why would she say "I told"? And then she said, "My partner Daniel." And then she goes into the question of, "Did you hear Jack and Lily?" Like she was telling him something, but then she stopped herself and then realized she should have been asking a question about Jack and Lily instead of telling him about Jack and Lily.
Yeah. I thought
go back and watch her interview, And it's right before she introduces that Daniel's her partner.
Mhm.
She said, and I told, and then she went on to say, my partner Daniel. And then she said, I asked him, did he hear Jack and Lily?
Okay. I'll make
You
sure.
know, go back and listen.
I know I done
because
played that damn thing like 20 times of listening.
I know, and you always hear something different. You know, I mean, it's just so difficult to keep up with all these different stories.
My biggest thing is we all know that what they said in the beginning was scripted. I think we all think that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And another thing, I don't understand why, you know, just all the manpower out, the man hours and all the money that they spent searching for those little children, that they've not even picked them up or arrested them for that. You know, just that alone of misleading them.
And the whole, Malaya, if they thought Malaya handed the kids off, why would they be searching the woods for the kids?
Exactly.
So they know Malaya didn't do that. And there's just
Yeah.
lie after lie after lie. And then they said Malaya was at the road. But then when Janie came out and did that interview on the CBC, she said she was standing in front of the RV, which is nowhere near the road.
Right, I saw that because she went out the fence and then she was talking about her chickens and
Yeah.
you know, it was almost like she was going around and trying to figure out. And then she was saying that she was on TEMU. There's some kind of game or something. That's a website where you can order clothes and everything.
Uh-huh.
And she said that she decided that she shouldn't be on that because it's a big addiction. And then I don't know. There's just so many twists and turns.
Yeah. I just think they done told so many lies they can't keep the story straight.
Exactly. And that's why she had that script, that paper rattling the other night.
But what about this though? Why did they split ways if they were working together? Like, that is the oddest thing. That's what throws me off. That's what, like, I don't get that part of it. Like, usually when people commit a crime together, they stick together, but they scripted what happened and then split up.
I know.
That's different. That's a different
Yes,
one.
it
That's
is. Now, I know that, I mean, they're not Daniel's real children, so I don't know if they're staying apart, but they're also pointing the fingers at each other because they know that each other's guilty. I mean, especially with these black eyes and the, alleged abuse, like they
Yeah.
can point the fingers because, like you said, they're both guilty. If he hit those children and she let it happen, she's just as complicit.
Yeah, I truly believe that. And there's no way that you as a mother wouldn't notice bruises on your kids just magically appearing, so
Exactly.
them things ain't overlooked. So, but hey, I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you for listening to me, and
All
you
right.
all have a safe trip to North Carolina.
All right, I'm gonna try my best.
Okay. Take care, Dolly.
All right, peace.
Bye-bye.
Dolly.
North Carolina.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
what's going on?
what's up, Stony Stone?
Not much, man. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah, what's up?
Can you tell me what we're talking?
What you broke up?
Jack and Lily.
You don't know who Jack and Lily is?
Have no idea. I've been busy doing other stuff, but
Oh, Jack and Lily.
you're like, what's this going on here?
Jack and Lily are two small children that went missing May 2nd out of Nova Scotia. They were home alone with their parents, Daniel and Malaya. And when the parents allegedly woke up, the children were gone. And since the children have been gone, the mother came out, gave one interview, lawyered up, and took off. The stepdad or the stepdad or common law marriage dad, he gave a bunch of inconsistent statements so far, and has
he
been
doing interviews?
TV interviews, but far as YouTube, he comes into the chats. He's been in here, and he'll answer questions, but everybody believes he's lying.
Oh, okay.
Basically,
Yeah,
that's what we're
I'm just-
discussing because it came out in some of his text messages or his messages on Facebook that the little girl that went missing 2 days before she went missing, she had a black eye. and allegedly a toy truck hit her in the eye. But then the next day was a day she didn't go to the school, and then the following day she didn't show up to school, and now she's gone.
Oh wow! And the little boy's gone too.
The little
Both of
boy's
them are
gone too. Yes.
Wow.
So they searched the woods. They did 10,000 man hours of searching the woods around their house in Nova Scotia. They didn't find a single trace, anything to do with the kids. They did find a pink blanket in a tree. But
when did this happen, Jim? How long ago?
2 months ago.
I never heard about it.
You never heard about it. It's not been on American news at all. And it's barely, it ain't got a lot of coverage in Canada.
Well, I've seen you posting stuff every once in a while, but I haven't been making many podcasts. It's been tough around the old house real quick.
Yeah.
But man, dude, that sucks.
I try to keep it pushing. Well, I ain't got a passport. You got to have a passport to get into Canada.
Dude, I got people there.
Well, I mean, legally, I need one, but I mean, could I get into Canada? Probably, but I don't have any plans of going to Canada right now. If
you can get a passport in 2 weeks, though.
Yeah, if you rush it, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was in the States, I'd already be there.
Yeah, I know.
It's just not.
Man,
it's in Canada.
So crazy. I just didn't hear nothing about it. I thought I seen a couple pictures that you posted. Like some thumbnails, but that's about it, bro. I had no idea. And then you're talking about this dude. The guy is like a moron. I don't get this dude already, and I'm just now finding out about it, I guess.
Yeah.
It's weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's strange all the way around. Usually one kid may go missing, but two kids will go missing. And like I said, there's no signs of them in the woods. The police came out in the very beginning, said there's no signs of abduction. The kids are not in the woods. Well, if there's no abduction and the kids ain't in the woods, where are the kids at? And that only leaves mom and dad. And then their behavior, Stony Stone, no innocent people act like this, right? The mother's done lawyered up. She's done.
Unless you're guilty, you don't get an attorney, especially on something like this.
I mean, maybe if you're being accused, but she did it instantly.
Yeah, but nobody accused her yet, right?
Yeah, it was coming though. It was coming, but at that time, nobody had yet. That's what I'm saying. Nobody really had yet because people were still trying to piece it together. Like, what the hell is going on? And because it's coming out of Canada, especially us here in America, because we get everything a little bit, tiny bit later. And then as people are putting it together, now people are accusing her. But at the time that she ran off and lawyered up, there wasn't nobody accusing her yet.
Let me ask you a question. Was dude putting hands on her too?
There's allegations of that. Now we don't have any proof because of course we're not there, Stone. But there's been people that have been rumoring that, and that he may have been on some of that. He was going to the Methodist church, not the actual church, but the Breaking Bad. He was doing a little bit of bad stuff, allegedly, and that he may have been abusing the little boy, far as physically. I don't know about not SA, but whipping on the little boy.
Oh, putting hands on him.
Yeah, and there's images of the little boy with black eyes, and that he's saying that the little girl has black Jack's eyes, and that Lily's eyes were black because she fell onto a toy. I mean, there's a lot of coincidences in it.
So everybody got black eyes.
Everybody got damn black eyes, but him.
Yeah.
Probably the person that needs them.
Yeah. Well, I'm a man first. I put black eyes on me. You get what I'm saying?
Well, a coward ain't going to do that. They're going to pick on little
I'm not
kids.
scared to go to Canada, bro. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm not scared to go to Canada. What a mess. So how old are these babies? 4
and 6 years old.
Are you shitting me, bro?
Yeah, no. No, I wish I was. No.
I never heard about this, dude. I'm blown away.
Yeah.
It's just amazing that people like this exist amongst us.
If it's what I think it is, it's really bad. And I just
Jimmy, come on, we don't know it's what you think it is.
I mean, I know that, Stony Stone. I'm just hoping it's not. I know what it is, And I think the world knows what it is. And it's
what's the woman's name?
Malaya.
Malaya.
Yeah.
Okay. And his name is Daniel?
Daniel. Yeah.
I'm going to look up some of these interviews. I got to see this shit.
Well, there's only
I
one
cannot
of the mother. She only spoke one time.
Malaya.
Yeah. Her name is Malaya Brooks. And
you think he was doing her bad, like, and she got scared all the way around? I think, dude, I'm going to tell you already, I'm already thinking that they know.
They do. And I think they were doing drugs together. And I think they were scared to send Lily to school because she had a black eye. And the CPS was already involved with their family. And I think if they would have sent Lily to school, they were going to go to jail. And they were, or they were
forever if they don't get knocked off before.
I know.
They're going forever now.
I'm trying to find a motive in it of why anybody would want to hurt their kids. But, you know, you look at some people, there's no motive. They just crazy.
They're twisted. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes
put your
that's
hands
the
on
thing.
a baby, you're twisted. I'm sorry.
I agree.
You put your hands on a child. If you put your hands on a child, you do not deserve to breathe the same air I do. I'm sorry.
And that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about it. There's
100%. You should know. I don't care, dude. I don't give a shit. You hurt a kid, especially anybody I know or somebody in front of me. My God, dude, I'm going to do things to you. I'm sorry.
There ain't no excuse for it. There's absolutely no excuse for it. And
you know what? I will raise your baby. Me, I will take your child. Do not put your hands on that child. Dude, I grew up in a house of nothing but foster kids. There was 4 regular kids and 37, 8. I don't even know 80 kids. I have no idea how many kids, brothers and sisters I have. I have no clue. I got a little sister that just turned 19. I'm 53. I got a brother that's 21 that just has never talked. He don't talk. He just sits there and screams, and we enjoy it like he's singing the opera. We don't even have a clue what the hell he's doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's ours. And I mean, I've got brothers and sisters. I swear to God, Jimmy, I woke up and I didn't know who the hell my parents had in the house as a kid. We'd have like 9 kids in the house all of a sudden overnight. I'm like, where the hell did these guys come from? And I'm like 9 years old.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I'm saying?
It takes a good person to raise that many kids.
My mom and dad raised everybody's kids. I mean, the system, DCFS and all the shit would bring these kids over in the middle of the night, man. And they'd be like, hey, Stone, can you guys keep these kids? They're in a bad situation. I'd be like, yeah, come on in. We'll get you set up, guys. And then feed them and then let them bath, do whatever they needed to do. And then we'd have them for months. It's weird, dude. I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm saying you don't put your hands on a child.
Definitely don't. All right, Stone.
All right, my man. I appreciate you, bro. You guys, hey, and hey to everybody. I see you guys in the chat saying hey. Good to see
All right,
you too.
peace.
All right, peace.
Okay, that's Stony Stone. Now listen, Stony Stone's been around before the true crime. Hold on, caller. Hold on. He is the reason that I am doing what I am doing now. Okay. So Stony Stone, I was covering the Gabby Petito case. Stony Stone called in and he told me, he said, hey, Dolly, have you ever heard of, and I wasn't even a true crime channel. He said, have you ever heard of the case of Summer Wells? And I was like, no. And he was like, oh, man, you should check that out. It's absolutely crazy. He's like, it ain't like nothing I've ever seen before. And I was like, like me, I put people off and I don't do shit when the people tell me to do it. I don't know, it may have been a week or two later, and I started diving into the Summer Wells stuff, and then I fell into the true crime rabbit hole. And I started going out there looking, searching, and here we are 4 years later, because Stony Stone said, have you ever heard of Summer Wells, Dolly? It's almost like a curse. I don't know if he cursed me or helped me pick a direction that I needed to travel in life, right? I think everything happens for a reason, and people are put in certain places for certain reasons. And it was meant for me to talk to Stony Stone that night, right? Why? I won't understand that until who knows when, right? And you didn't even have a summer anniversary live. I have been going still over to Summer Wells stuff, and I've still been down there. I've been down there this year looking for Summer Wells. So, yeah, out of all the people missing. Now, trust me, I want everybody found, but there's nobody I want found more than Summer Wells. My help in all these other cases is because of that little girl. All right. So it's so important to me that she be found. And I hope it's not one of those 20-year things, or like Don Wells says, that she'll never be found. And I don't forget where I come from, right? That's the reason we're here today. That's why I brought it up, is because that is the reason. This is your life purpose, Dolly. I mean, I don't know. Like, I've always been like, like Bruce Lee says, flow like water. Just let life take you where it takes you. And I guess you'll end up where you're supposed to be. So I just kind of go with everything. I just roll with the punches. And wherever life takes me, that's where it takes me. I've never really tried to force anything. Life kind of just happens, right? And I just go with it, I'm pretty chill and mellow. So I just go with whatever's going on. And here we are, 70,000 subscribers 4 years later from that conversation with Stony Stone. And I was covering entertainment news at the time. But ever since then, we scrapped the entertainment news. We went full stream true crime, searching for missing people and covering cases, and haven't looked back. It's crazy how just a conversation with somebody you don't know can change everything, right? It's like planting a seed. You know what I'm saying? You could say it, but sometimes with the right amount of water, that tree will grow. And we're still growing, right? We're still growing as a channel, and we still got a lot of awesome, great things to do. So it's a crazy story how we got here. I just like to share that with people. That's why I say that I didn't pick true crime picked me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know Stony Stone was going to call, and be like, hey, have you ever heard of this missing kid? And I didn't know the story of the missing kid. I didn't know it was going to touch my heart so much, right, that I was going to get in my car and drive to damn Tennessee. So, well, I didn't drive my car. I drove a rental. Okay. It was a little clown car too. It was like the first one I drove down there was like a little box car that you could have fit like a half a person in. It was the littlest fucking car ever. It was the only one that the Enterprise, a rental car place, that they had, and it was bright baby blue. Like it was like a clown car. It was literally like when cars drove by you, it would blow the car off to the other lane. So, but that was the start. And here we are. And we've been trying to help kids all around the world at this point, or at least bring awareness to these kids as much as we can. So, all right, I got time maybe for one or two more calls, and then I got to get out of here. But there's no reason these kids to be all bruised up, and these people not be in jail. Not watching your kid is enough. To the authorities, stuff like that. It is it's more than enough to arrest these people. Jack and Lily stuff to maybe get Dolly.
Hey, Dolly, Margot from Florida.
What's
I'm
up?
becoming a regular over here.
Okay, awesome.
This is one thing I didn't mention last time. I came in a little late on the stream today, and you were speaking with Mab, and I came in when you guys were talking about like them going to search the homes on the reservation. Was that like people wanted them to go door to door and search the homes? Is that what was being discussed? Because I came in and I wasn't sure I understood it correctly, what you guys were talking about.
No, he was just saying that kids could still be on the kids could still be there. And if they go outside, it could be in a privacy fence and people not see them. I don't think there's anybody that went door to door and searching for kids on the reservation, because I truly don't believe the kids are on a reservation. One, there's no reason to hide the kids. And two, you would have to talk the natives into hide the kids, right? So,
well, no, I thought the chat was saying that we should be, like, he was trying to say that we should be searching the reservation. My only point to that is, like, I want the same energy then for Miss Janie, who went on an interview and sat there and was like, I'm so scared of people taking pictures of me with my rake or whatever the hell she was, shovel. You know, no one is talking about how she sat there. She's trying to use this excuse of like her safety, which makes sense, but it's a cover up because you wouldn't have to worry about your safety if you were all about these kids and telling the truth. The reason people are flying drones over your property, like, there has been nothing that has said they've even really fully even investigated her trailer or anything like that. We don't know, the truth is. And that even goes back to the RCMP, in my opinion, might be, I know, Dolly, we don't do this in the US because we want people talking. And also we get updates all the time on crimes, and our police force, they depend on, you know, the community and people out there to speak up to help them. It seems like the RCMP is like the opposite. They want to solve it. They want their egos inflated. They don't want to tell no one what they know. They want to keep everything secret. So I know Malaya started with that, and now Daniel's saying it. I'm almost wondering if it is like the RCMP is saying, don't speak, only tell us things, because they want the credit of solving this. And now that they're out on the internet, because that's a newer thing, they're like, don't speak, don't speak. So I can see that happening just because it's a different jurisdiction, a different country. But I have a problem with everyone saying go search the res when we're not giving the same energy to Daniel's property, because everyone wants to feel bad for Janie saying like, oh, her safety, her safety. Like, no one would be taking pictures if you actually, why would you not let people on the property to search for missing kids? She like made a point to be like, get off my property, leave my property alone. I don't want no one here. I don't want people driving by. Like, that to me is more suspicious than saying, oh yeah, there's this rumor that they might have been taken to the reservation.
Well,
and I don't get it.
Well, she said in that interview that they searched the house, the trailer 4 times.
Yeah, she said a lot of things though. And then on top of it, she made a point to make sure people knew, like, I don't want you near my property. I don't want you on my property. How many investigations have the police had to continuously go out to a location till they finally found something? So, I mean, just because they searched it once, like 2 kids are missing. Like, why are you so up in arms? Like, don't take pictures of me. Don't drone over my property. Don't do this. I don't want no one here. That to me is very suspicious. And I don't know why there's not the same energy. If you want to sit here and speculate about the res, then we need to give both sides. Like, then also give that energy to Janie, because she doesn't want people on the property. It's like evident, and her tone is so harsh and cold with these kids.
Well, we know they searched the property fairly well, and she has to understand that people don't really want to hurt her. They want to find answers for these kids, and that's what they're trying to do. But there is the fear that, you know, there is crazy people in this world. There is. And
absolutely, I'm not saying that, but 9 out of 10 people come in.
See, like, here's the thing. I suspect that they are guilty. I have no proof that they're guilty. But in some people's mind, they don't need proof. They're guilty. And those people might be somebody that will hurt you. So there is the possibility that somebody could, and this was my biggest fear in the Leilani case when she came out and sat in the front yard, that somebody was going to run up and try to fight her, hurt her, stab her, shoot her. that somebody may react. And I know people will react because I watched it at Leilani's house. People are running up, beating on the windows, screaming, pulling up in her driveway, come out the house, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got crazy. And if she has nothing to do with it, I can understand the fear. But the people around her have brought this on her. That's who she should be upset with, is the people that brought this on her, which is Malaya Daniel. That's who she really needs to be upset with.
Yeah, no, and I mean, cooperation just goes a long way, because I'm sure when that was happening to Leilani, she wasn't being very cooperative, and that's what made people react the way they did. I mean, we saw it at the laundry house.
Believe it or not,
there's
Leilani was cooperative. She just wouldn't. She was lying. She kept lying to the police, but she kept going in for interviews.
Well, like people. Right. No, that's true.
She never ran. You know, they even said, we don't think she's a risk of fleeing. They let her be out. She kept going down to the police station talking. She just kept lying. But technically, she cooperated. I mean, far as doing what they said, just not telling the truth.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, Daniel's cooperating too. So, but it was good time. That's just my only point, is that I get this feeling, like, just from her interview, it was like, stay off my property, get away from it. Like, I'm not saying that there's not crazies out there who would do harm. I absolutely think there is, but I also think you attract more of that attention when you're not being honest, and people can tell.
Yes, you're right.
That's the point. If you're just cooperating, you're letting people search your land, and like, it's for the kids, it's a different feel, and people feel that. So
yeah. All right.
That was,
You be good.
All right. Good talking to you. You have a great weekend. Or no, a week.
Yeah. I will.
Have a great week.
All right. Peace. Yeah. I mean, listen, when there's transparency and you tell the truth, people don't give you a hard time usually. It's when you Dolly.
Hey, Dolly, it's Paulette calling from Nova Scotia.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I was just calling because it's just stuff with all the bruises. It's like, if the bruises were that common, all the kids would be getting complaints, but all the kids aren't getting complaints. It's these kids that are getting complaints.
Yeah.
And so you've got Belinda talking about a bruise. You've got Daniel talking about the Wednesday before that the Lilly got hit in the eye with the Tonka truck.
Yeah.
And I got messages in front of me here that were on Clutch and Pearls, where Daniel says about 8, the school said she had suspicious bruises. I told them how she got them. So there's additional bruises there with Lilly.
Yeah.
So it's like, so we have 3 sets of bruises now. Like, how many bruises do these kids have to have before somebody talks like they're suspicious? And people are going on about, well, why would Daniel come forward with all this stuff if he was guilty? And it's like, to me, it seems like he's trying to get ahead of rumors.
Yes, I agree.
They even get released to the public. And so, but he's ending up spilling the beans on himself because we don't know any of this stuff, right? So he's trying to get ahead of it because he thinks he's so smart, but he's not. Because we probably never would have found out any of this stuff if he hadn't come forward with it. But yeah, I think it's like, I'm from Nova Scotia.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to become pretty obvious to, I think, a lot of us here. Where our suspicions are starting to point, and it's not Malaya. Because to me, yes, it's weird, a lot of the stuff she's done. It's very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. But, I hear Janie saying, well, the investigators told me not to talk to anybody, but, she couldn't hold it in no more. So I totally believe that Malaya and her mother, that they were told by investigators not to talk to anybody.
Well, the RCMP said not to give away any information that was vital to the investigation. They could talk.
Yeah, but that's not what Janie said. Janie said the investigators told her not to talk to anybody. That's what Janie said. And so,
But do we believe anything that any of these people are saying? I mean, that's where it gets.
well, take it with a grain of salt, anything
Yeah.
any of them say, quite frankly. But the fact is, Malaya's not saying anything. And really, they're really hanging themselves every time they open their mouths, it seems like. So I'm sure she's being told, just let them go to her. Because they're going to do it all to themselves with this, because they're constantly changing their stories. And Darren's a fanatic in my mind. Like, he's right into the conspiracy theories. I've seen his Facebook, looked into it a bit. He seems really into all these conspiracy theories, like fringe stuff that nobody else kind of believes.
Yeah.
And this stuff with the natives, like, I'm First Nation, and we find it very offensive, the stuff about going on the reserve and natives hiding them on the reserve.
Yeah.
I have family from that reserve. I know lots of people from that reserve. They're really pissed off that they're being drug into this by this family.
Yeah.
Because they have nothing to do with it.
I didn't think so anyway.
I have close connections with people in Ontario and stuff. Everybody thinks it's absolutely ridiculous. We don't have some secret underground railroad to hide kids from people. It's crazy. So, and it's an ignorant conspiracy theory that just preys on the ignorance of people who don't know anything about the First Nation people.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned.
All right.
But I'll let. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, thanks for calling in. And next time, don't watch Tumble Corpse. All right. Be good.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. So, no saying the name, that name on my trigger warning. All right. That's how you set Dolly off, right? No Tumble Corpse here. We don't watch bullshit channels. We don't promote that type of stuff here. We like good morals and values and all that stuff here on Dolly Vision. All right. So I got it blocked in the chat so you can't say it. We'll make sure we keep it that way. We only support good channels here, right? If you watch some of these fake people that don't give a damn, that's on you. I'm not telling you who you can and can't watch, but we don't want those people mentioned on our channel because we know better. All right. Me, myself, I've been around these people, not good people, and you can watch who you want to watch, but I don't got no reason to lie to you. All right. Snakes. There are snakes out here in these YouTube streets, and you got to watch out for them. They're slithery as shit. All right. And just not good people, and history shows that, but a lot of people don't know. They tune in and they may be new and they don't know the backstory of some of these people, and just horrible human beings don't have a place in true crime. I think true crime takes a special type of person, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say nothing mean. I'm going to be calm and collective today, right? Instead of just going off on somebody. But guys, what I recommend is watch legitimate good people up here. And if you don't know, ask me, I'll tell you. You guys be good. I'm getting the hell out of here before I get mean. All right. And, if you get a chance, rip a hair plug out or two. I guess if there's room for everybody, even people with corpse paint. Okay. Even dead bodies can be true crimers. All right. But you guys be good. Stay safe. Remember, if nobody else does, Dolly loves you. Peace.